Christopher Hansen were the three arrested on a stack of charges. Chris Hansen. On Wednesday, Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill announced the arrest of 21 people on Medicaid fraud or cruelty to those in need. Murrill said that the arrests were made by the AG's Office Medicaid Fraud Control Unit, which she added has been elevated to a standalone division within the Louisiana Department of Justice. Like I said, we've got Liz coming up at 7:15 to talk about this. Metro Council member Cleve Dunn missed a court hearing yesterday due to a clerical error that left him without an official notice that he had to attend. Dunn was indicted and arrested in January on 2 counts of bribery and money laundering, along with public contract fraud, illegal split commission of commodities, and malfeasance in office. He will now go to court in the second week of July. Well, of course, with 4th of July coming up this weekend, all the safety alerts are out right now. Louisiana State Fire Marshal is urging people to stay safe while celebrating fireworks. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, there were at least 15 deaths and roughly 13,000 emergency department-related treated injuries last year due to fireworks. So it is encouraged to stay safe. Of course, they are illegal within the parish of Baton Rouge. If my screen will refresh, we can get to number one. Oh, my apologies. Here we go. This one involving the Baton Rouge Fire Department. A Baton Rouge family says they've lost everything after their home burned in a fire just before 11 a.m. yesterday. Chatakalin Laverne said that her and her family were at their home along Jubin Avenue Wednesday morning. Laverne said she decided to go and make a quick stop at the dollar store. Got a call from her daughter. A few minutes later, call went out to Baton Rouge Fire Department, and sure enough, the house was a total loss. All right, Wilton, what you got?
All right, trending stories coming your way today. Not to be overlooked in all of the America 250 festivities, the Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library will be open to the public in the Badlands in Medora, North Carolina.
So the president kind of opened it, introduced it, whatever, yesterday. But it's not formally open to everybody until you said tomorrow or Saturday? Or I guess it's just sometime this weekend.
I guess it's just sometime this weekend.
Teddy Roosevelt's a fascinating character. I was curious that his library is in the Badlands because he's originally from New York, but obviously he lived out that way a lot. As the development of the Rough Riders and everything, but he credits a lot of the man that he became when he returned to New York to living out in the Badlands. So I guess the presidential library doesn't have to be from your home. It can be your chosen home.
I guess it never occurred to me until seeing this one, but I never thought about it. I guess he didn't have a presidential library until now.
Yeah, meaning I just assume you just always you assume every president's got a library.
Probably got one already.
Do what?
So some presidential libraries probably in New York already.
You know what? You're probably right about that.
Anyway,
I'm gonna look it up while there's no reason. Yeah, we don't have to stop the show for it. Now I want to know.
Heading over to some local news. The remembrances continue for Roger Cador.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Former Southern Jaguars baseball coach, and they've been emotionally overwhelming.
They really have been. Over on our sister station 104.5 yesterday, Charles and Jimmy on Live at Lunch dedicated probably half their show to remembering Roger. For those that didn't know him, he was just an absolutely amazing man. Baseball coach at Southern University for 1 billion years. Basically, the entire time that Skip was at LSU, Roger was at Southern. But you want to talk about just an overwhelming ambassador for the game, for one thing. But just everybody in Baton Rouge's best friend. The guy built relationships like you wouldn't believe. Remembered names like you wouldn't believe. He was just a genuinely open-hearted person, just a genuinely wonderful person. So yeah, no, keep him coming. One real quick one, and I've probably told this one before, was after the very first time I met him, and I was at a different station at the time, but was producing a show. He was in on the show that day. And then the next weekend, I'm over at there used to be a Piggly Wiggly on Sherwood Forest Boulevard, right? It's Harbor Freight now. So I'm in the Piggly Wiggly over there. That's how, goodness gracious, I've been in radio too long. I'm at the Piggly Wiggly over there, and I'm just looking for something to throw on the grill that weekend, and I hear click clack, click clack, click clack, click clack. It's Roger Cador walking to the meat department to buy a boatload of like hamburger meat and hot dogs that he's grilling himself when he gets out to the game, and he's in full uniform. He's in full Southern Jaguars uniform with spikes. He's wearing the spikes, like baseball player spikes. That's the click clack the whole time. And I'm like, Coach, he's like, you got to build the program. And I'm like, he did it all. Everything he did was like with zero resources and nary a complaint about it, just built up from it. So he was just awesome.
That's a good one. Got one more trending story for you. A Florida woman was arrested for trying to smuggle cocaine into a prison. Yes, it was where you think it was. And she told authorities it was up there.
It's not what's on the paper.
A sexual encounter.
So,
oh man.
A Florida woman arrested for trying to smuggle cocaine into a prison, and it was up her butt. It was in her booty.
Oof. Her booty.
It was in her booty. And she claimed
not for the faint of heart.
No, but she's like, yeah, that's how do you pass that off as that's from a sexual encounter? I mean, that's just that.
You're already caught at that point.
Yeah, 4 grams up the took us. Whew. That's so much can go wrong in such a little time.
Oh my gosh.
You thought freebasing was something. All right, 6:13 at Talk 107.3 FM. We are actually running long. Tell you what, let's go ahead and stay on task, stay on time. We'll break it right here. Come back. Got sports for you next. FDR's library is in New York, in Hyde Park. Yeah.
That's not bottom red, is it? Completely different place.
Yeah, totally different. Hey, Haggai. You got any cocaine up your butt?
That was Billy Headlines material. If I have not heard, that'll definitely be on Saturday morning. Marty McGee. Did you ever watch Marty McGee?
No.
That show on ESPN.
The bumhole, y'all.
No.
That guy's like, no.
How do people in prison get people on the outside to do stuff like that?
Telling you, it's awesome. It's a good time.
So since Haggai's in, even though we're doing sports, I typically put Haggai on camera. So
okay, do you turn this mic on for this?
No, he never talks on sport. I mean, every blue moon he'll talk.
Unless I say,
yeah.
They didn't bring that chair back, did they?
Yeah.
They were doing it yesterday.
You'll know though when like Franz or Haggai's about to talk, and I'll hurry up and I'll fire him up. And Franz will always talk every turn to be ready to fire him. Good morning, Miss Judy.
Did you watch the whole game? We're gonna flip sports. I'm gonna talk soccer in the next segment, and I'll bring Haggai in to cover because I didn't watch the whole thing. So we'll do the LSU stuff here. 16, 17, 18. 616 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is sports time. Obviously, big news out of Santa Clara last night as the U.S. wins their first knockout round match in 20 some odd years. They will move on. I will talk about that game in a little bit. Haggai Davis is in for a cup of tech gumbo. I did not catch the whole game. I was watching a mini series with my wife, and the final 2 episodes we took in last night. We'll talk about that later on the show. But so I did not get to see the whole thing. But wow, what a match for the U.S. last night. We'll talk about that since Haggai did watch the whole thing, get his perspective there. Meanwhile, though, let's talk a little recruiting. June was super hot for LSU. Lane Kiffin's staff looking to keep that momentum going. Ruston High School 4-star safety Jaden Anding was scheduled to announce his commitment between LSU and Ole Miss yesterday, but he pushed that back at the last minute. Andre Champagne with Go 24/7 says that when it comes to Anding, he can cover everything in the secondary. Cut 16.
They like him as kind of a 3 kind of way player in terms of what he can do in the defensive back room. He can play up top, he can play in the box, and he's somebody that can throw around pretty much anywhere.
Now, Anding's brother's already on the team. That would be Aiden Anding. So you got Jaden and Aiden. Brother Barton, 5-star wideout, Easton Royal, still committed to Texas, but he has not shut the door on his recruitment. LSU trying hard to flip the nation's top receiver. Champagne says his final decision will go down to the wire. We'll consider more than just, who offers the most money. Cut 17.
His relationship with the coaching staff is just really good. I've talked to people within the program, and he's still contacting with them on a daily basis. So they're not going to stop even if he goes out and says, hey, I'm sticking with my commitment. They're going to keep pushing for that. This is their top target in the entire class.
And how about up front, 5-star defensive lineman Jalen Brewster, the top-rated prospect in the class there. He has been committed to Texas Tech since October, so are we looking at another flip here? This might even be a higher priority than landing Royal. Cut 18.
They have completely given up on their big board in terms of defensive tackles. Yeah, they still have some guys circled, but they lost Jason Johnson to Texas. They lost Yazin Zion to Wisconsin. They don't have anybody else circled. It's Brewster or no one.
So it is a dead period right now, which means LSU's not contacting anybody, but it does not mean that announcements can't come in. We got the Fox Business Report coming your way in just a quick minute. Do want to remind you about the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. We're off tomorrow, so there is no Foodie Friday tomorrow, but you're firing up the grill this weekend. Come 4th of July, there's going to be plenty of burgers, dogs, whatever you're throwing on the grill, to be sure. Make sure you've got a ton of beef out that way. With the protein, with the iron, with the 10 vitamins and nutrients, you can't go wrong. And like we said, if you want to learn a few tips, tricks, hacks, recipes, and the like, visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com. That's beefitswhatsfordinner.com. And of course, next Friday, we will be right back at it with Foodie Friday then. Right now it's 6:20. Here comes the Fox Business Report.
I just called and said, can you ask Haggai with 180 Pros, like doing y'all's IT or whatever, how come Brian still has Wi-Fi? Complained about it so long, and then y'all took over, and now we still have it. 180 Pros does not do that.
Yeah.
Well,
They sponsored the studio. No, and I don't. So, yeah, we don't bring him up on the air for one thing. Like on the air, since we're not on the air right now, it's fine. Because I don't know who he is, but he listens all day, every day for sure. He listens to the full show every day because he waits for mistakes so he can be an asshole about them on a regular basis. So stuff like that. Couple of things for background. Bellwether handles our IT. 180 Pros just sponsors the studio. And also to go along with it, I never had Wi-Fi issues. I accidentally closed out a window. So whatever he was talking about, like,
He was talking about your number one story.
It took so long to
yeah,
it's not a Wi-Fi issue.
no, I closed out a window. It's not a Wi-Fi issue at all.
I said it might have been an important phone call. I probably shouldn't have even taken it.
No, always take it because you never know where it is.
Okay.
But once you recognize that guy's voice, feel free just to be like, not now, and hang up.
Be like, I'm polite. I'm like, hey, we're tied up right now. I'm gonna have to let you go.
Okay.
See, yeah, she's a lot nicer than me. Every time I've taken his call, I ask him, why is his life so sad?
Oh God. So no lie. Well, JP was the producer before me. What you told him? He said
You legally shouldn't be allowed to reproduce. You're so stupid, you shouldn't be allowed to reproduce.
like
And-
just
Yeah, and there's no reason you
Wow.
don't have to be nice to that. Never on the air, though. We're never mean to people on the air.
Okay, wait. So he's not until 6:30. Should we just leave him up?
so no, because Haggai and Brian are gonna banner
Oh,
here. They're gonna banner about the men's soccer. Yeah.
Football.
Huh?
Football.
Yeah, football. Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm not normally into soccer, but when Paraguay did that upset against Germany and then U.S. men last night, I'm like, this is some good shit.
It's been a lot of fun. I've watched a lot of the games in the World Cup.
Well, I had the over at 2.5, so I lost. All right, let's head on back to the traffic center right quick. Here's what we got going on, and nothing. Big hot cup of nothing going on right now. Your interstate systems are looking pretty fantastic. 12 westbound coming in from Livingston Parish is good to go, as is 10 westbound coming in from Ascension Parish. 10 eastbound making their way in is about as clear as it's ever been. And 110, I mean, you can if you see anybody, just say hi. I mean, that's how empty 110 is right now. Meanwhile, there's one surface street accident to look out for. It's Highland at Piku. Happened about 15 minutes ago. So be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, we got a clean slate to start off the morning, and we'll hopefully keep it that way. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. Wow. The traffic gods frowned upon me. Okay, like literally as soon as I stopped talking, these both popped up. Add brand new accidents, Scenic at Weller and Westlake Shore at Stanford. So, I mean, still looking good on the interstates for your commute, which ought to remain pretty light because we're heading into a holiday weekend. But surface street accidents, like I said, just two more of them just popped up on my screen. Scenic at Weller, Westlake Shore at Stanford. It is 6:24 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Breaking down last night's soccer match. I'm not a soccer expert, so like literally everybody on the planet is going to know more about the sport than me. I'm not trying to like undersell you, Haggai, but like I learned what a red card is last night because an American got booted. It's like a flagrant one,
Yes.
or is it like an unsportsmanlike conduct?
Like a
Like a targeting.
It's a targeting.
Targeting.
It's a targeting call.
Okay. Yeah, I learned. I don't understand offsides in soccer. Never will. Watched 3 seasons of Ted Lasso. Don't understand it.
So, because I know, Tech Gumbo being an international show that it is, and I'm sure FIFA listens, I've got a call set up for Monday to talk to them about this offside thing. That's ridiculous. Where my toe was further along the line than the other person, so that's an offside, and that cancels a goal.
I mean, yeah,
That's ridiculous. I mean,
like literally every other sport, you want to be in that position. See, I grew up calling that a fast break,
exactly, and
a run out,
you know,
a snowbird even.
But this is why games end up 1-0 or 0-0, 0-0.
They say nil, yeah.
0-0.
I know that one too.
0-0, or 2-0 or something, instead of having 5-6 goals in a game kind of stuff, because my toe was further along than the defender. And if it would be a little more reasonable if your 100% of your body was beyond the defender, between the defender and the goalie. But I mean, that's just it's
So it you get penalized for being faster than other people. Is that the? I mean,
yes,
Okay.
you get penalized for. You have to have at least one defender between you and the goalie. You have to have two defenders between you and the goal officially.
oh my word.
And unless you have the ball, then you can.
Okay. So then you can get it on a run out.
Yes, if there is and if they kick the ball to you and you're running to meet it, then you can go beyond the defenders.
All right, you just can't hang out under the. You can't hang out under your own goal,
right?
And wait for the baseball pass.
Yes,
and
no
NBA All-Star game it.
No snow burden. Yeah,
you can't NBA All-Star game it.
Exactly.
Sorry. So last night, 2-0 final score there. What little bit I did watch. Here's the thing. Every other time I've tried to watch soccer and not understanding it, I just get frustrated and leave. Something about this World Cup has me, every time I don't understand it, I want to learn more.
I actually played soccer in intramurals in college.
Okay.
And got to, it was fun.
And you get to understand the game a little
bit. Not much. By no means am I any kind of an expert, but I do follow along with what's going on. And this has been a really fun World Cup to watch. I've watched a lot of the games this year and a lot of the matches, excuse me. And last night was just so much fun to watch. The U.S. was in control almost the entire game. They were attacking early. They had an offside, waved off a goal early on, and then
which would have gotten me my over, by the way.
Yeah, it would. Actually, there was probably it could have been 4-0.
I just needed the one.
But, the one goal where Florian Balogun, I mean, he passed the ball between his legs and off of the player and made a great shot. The second goal, that was really cool, where Tillman literally hit. I mean, he's standing just 2 yards outside of the box, and he puts the ball basically between two defenders' heads because they were lined up in a wall for a penalty for a free kick.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he just nailed the corner of the goal. It was a great shot. It was so much fun to watch. And then they had to spend the whole last 30 minutes of the game.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to go, because the Balogun he's the one that got the red card, and get 2 minutes. He's the one that got the red card, so he had to sit out the rest of the game. But you can't replace him.
So they were down a man, and now because he got the red card, he's got to sit out the whole next game unless the U.S. appeals.
See, that's why it's like targeting.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a horrible rule.
Now, as for the next game, that's going to be against Belgium, I believe, on Wednesday.
Monday.
Okay. So do you know if Belgium's any good? Obviously they're in the round of 16. They're great, but
I think we're going to be favored. Well, it depends. We definitely would have been favored with Balogun, but without him, and him being one of our main
do we
strikers,
still have to play with 10 then?
No. We have a full squad.
Okay.
We just can't play with him.
Right. That's fair.
And so, I think we should still win, hopefully, because number one, it's going to be on Seattle, home court, USA, that kind of thing. I believe that we will win. I'm
not a fan of that cheer.
Oh, I love it.
That's
can't get enough of it.
Not exactly my favorite. Yeah, right now the U.S. is minus 130. So, and Belgium has a weird flag. That's my insight right there. We got 1 minute until we have to check news, traffic, and weather. Tell you what, let me tell you about the folks over at 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website. 180pros.com. Not your IT provider, your IT partner. And the beautiful thing about 180 Pros is they're right here. If you're going to have a partner, you want a partner in town. You do not want to have a long distance relationship with your tech company. And the reason for that is this: if your network's completely down and you need somebody on site to get it back up and running, do you really want your livelihood in the hands of I-10 traffic? I mean, this morning aside, on a normal, like let's say Friday afternoon in Baton Rouge, you want someone coming across the Atchafalaya to get to you, or someone coming in from New Orleans? No, right here on Sherwood Forest Boulevard. You can give them a call at 330-2200, 330-2200. Latest in cybersecurity, making sure your network is top notch. It's 180 Pros. I actually did have 180 Pros written down right there. So, yeah. Oh man! I may have chosen not to say the 180 Pro Studio bonus guest hosting last week. That's fine. No, we've built out the log to where the pre-recordeds meet the contractual needs. That way, if we get brain farts.
Attorney General Liz Murrill announces 21 people have been arrested as part of a nationwide crackdown on Medicaid fraud. During a news conference at the Capitol, Murrill said some of those charged are accused of stealing huge amounts of money from the program.
One of these individuals is accused of stealing more than $415,000.
Well, if you're going to steal, might as well steal a lot.
I've never understood people that steal like low numbers. Who shoplifts from Dollar General? Like
Right?
we got
That's what I'm saying.
You stole $75 from Dollar General, and now you're going to jail for
$75 at Dollar General is 3 baskets full.
Right.
Like, no, we have Don coming in later on with Crimestoppers, and I guarantee you there's gonna be like somebody.
It's always a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General,
Right.
Or like a family.
I'm not
dollar.
trying to push theft on anybody. Fucking go to Macy's. Put on all the shirts and then just walk out.
the Joey Tribbiani.
You caught that.
I noticed that too, though. Every time my shop lives,
It's Dollar General.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing, and police have actually run numbers
I
on
was
this.
gonna say why.
When you open a Dollar General or a Family Dollar in your neighborhood, shoplifting crime goes up. Why? Because it's not a crime of something they want, it's a crime of something they need. More often than not, you know what it is? Laundry detergent.
No shit.
They just grab 2 things of laundry detergent and blast out the door.
Because they need it.
Yeah.
So it's not that they okay.
Yeah, it's
And it's not a felony to steal 2 things of soap.
right.
Compared to say every now and again we'll get the stories where a woman steals 18 candles at Bath and Body Works.
Right.
Like that kind of crap.
Right. Yeah, that's not what you see with the Family Dollars and the Dollar Generals. It's the
Yeah, because 18 candles from a store like that is going to be several $100s.
Yes. Yep. Because those candles are not cheap. Even with the semi-annual sale, they're not cheap. Yeah. When do you want to chat about what we're watching? You want me to switch out with him? And
last segment of the show.
Okay.
Oh, I also brought a change of shirt for today. But I've got like serious interviews the whole way through, so
What's what we're watching? Guys talking about like TV and movies.
Yeah, TV. We were getting it.
my wife and I just finished an amazing miniseries on Netflix called I Will Find You. You have to suspend disbelief for this because the most unbelievable shit happens in it. But the twists and turns of it are like the twists and turns are ridiculous, but they're like, oh my God, what's next every time. It was really well. We enjoyed it thoroughly.
Have you watched?
He was telling me about it.
We have a colleague we work with here, and he's like, "Don't watch it." He's like, "It's up."
Well,
And Brian,
he
Brian,
sucks.
like, "Don't watch it."
The dad, like somebody killed his
Yes,
family or
in
something.
episode 1.
he went to prison for killing his own son.
Yes, yep.
Have you watched
Yeah.
Shrinking
I
on
started
Apple
watching
TV?
it.
Do what?
Shrinking on Apple TV?
No, but I want to.
It's good. I love it.
Uh,
Shrinking.
Is this the one that has
Harrison Ford and
On Apple TV.
yeah.
I thought, does this have like one of the guys from How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah, they're
the
all
guy
just-
who played the neighbor on Married with Children.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I keep seeing this clip pop up on TikTok.
It's about a psychologist in Los Angeles, and it's funny, it's emotional, it's a great show. I mean, we're in the fourth season or third or fourth season. I love it. It's been so good to watch.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
Shrinking on Apple TV.
I like how they call it shrink.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason. What's his name?
Jason Segel.
Yeah, Jason. He's the main character of the show.
And Ted McGinley is one of my favorite actors. He's so
Yeah.
underrated. But the scene that keeps popping up on TikTok is when the neighbors confronting the black guy bringing out the garbage, and then Ted McGinley's in the car and he's like, "Hey Pam," and his wife's like, "No, we don't like Pam." He goes, "Eat a dick, Pam."
It's really well written. It's
Wow.
Jason Segel's. He's his wife is killed and he's raising their teenage daughter, kind of stuff.
Wow.
And so yeah, it's a really, really amazing show. I've enjoyed it. And I don't watch much TV.
Okay. Does he like start dating and stuff like that?
Well, you have to
Here and
find
there.
out. You have to
Yeah,
watch
throughout
it.
the show.
You have to watch it. But
Oh, I need a good watch. So yeah, I have to give it a try.
and one of the guys from Lasso, Ted Lasso, the what's the one who cusses all the time?
Roy?
Yeah. He's
Roy
in-
Kent?
Roy Kent's in it too. Completely different character though.
So the kids are normally upstairs when it's time for them to come down and say goodnight. So ever since watching Ted Lasso, every night when I go to get the kids to come down, I just go to the bottom of the stairwell and I go, "Oi!" The Model T. Remember the Model T by Ford? It got 13 to 20 miles per gallon. However, it never exceeded 22 miles per hour. I'm just going to say that right there, and we're going to leave that on pause. It's time for a cup of tech gumbo. Let's go.
Science, so I'm not going to be able to help much. For a full serving, check out Tech Gumbo, Saturdays at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. We got 30 years worth of files right here in this computer. They're going to bring you down. A cup of Tech Gumbo on Talk 107.3. I'm sorry, wrong password.
Morning, Haggai.
Hey, Brian.
Any idea why I would tee things up with a Model T?
I'm curious to find out.
If something shows potential for the future, you foster its growth.
Okay.
Solar power hits new milestones in the U.S., even as Trump boosts coal over clean energy.
Yes, it does.
We are now seeing 12.8% usage with solar. Let's talk about it. Are we seeing more efficiency when it comes to the ability of the panels? What are we seeing here?
A lot of it. We're seeing better panels that can absorb more of the electrons coming off of the sun, basically. We're seeing better technology that can store energy. So like at night when the sun's down, you've got these battery banks where the power's been stored, and it's inexpensive and completely renewable, and it doesn't give off pollution the way coal does. And it's free. Once you set up, you buy that panel the one time, and then it just keeps providing energy.
Until the panel craps out.
But the panels last, 10 to 20 years kind of thing. So, and they're very inexpensive. So for a couple $100, you can get a really nice panel. And you get a whole bunch of panels. And yes, the usage of solar is now more popular than usage of coal, and especially in states like Texas. There is more solar power generated in the state of Texas than any other state in the United States. And yes, they're still pulling oil up out of the ground.
Oh, and they always will.
And they always will. I mean, solar is not going to replace petroleum products anytime soon.
And see, this is when we start to talk about something like this, it's important to remember the word supplemental.
Yes, alternative forms of energy. We can have
supplemental.
Both. We can have others more than just gasoline and oil and coal and nuclear and wind and water. All of these different forms of energy are great ways to generate power.
Yes. My thing is demand continues to increase when it comes to electricity. Demand will always continue to increase. Supply is what supply is, and supply can fluctuate based off of global politics.
Not only that you lose a lot of the power when it comes down those transmission lines coming from the nuclear power plant up in St. Francisville, as opposed to if you're generating the power right there at your house or right there at your business, then you're not losing a lot of the power from the impedance of all the wire that has to travel along. Look, we're not going to replace Riverbend anytime soon.
Nobody wants to.
No. But I mean, if you can have just a little extra power on pulling down from some solar panels at your house or your business, that's a good thing.
Yes. Yeah, completely. And getting lost in the wash is it's impossible to bring up an alternative form of energy without making it sound like it's a competitor. without making it sound like it's competition to good old tried and true gas and oil.
It's an enhancement. It's not a this versus that.
Right.
And in the United States, at only 12.8%, we're way behind the rest of the world. Most other countries are almost a third of their power is being generated by solar now.
Well, okay, but to be fair, though, we have so many more resources across the board. Not every country has coal, and not every country has gone to the great lengths that they have to make coal cleaner
or natural gas.
Right.
I
And
mean,
our LNG world is unlike anything else. I mean,
Absolutely.
specifically here in Louisiana.
Sure.
So yeah, we do it better, we do it more efficiently, we do it more cleanly than the rest of the world. So yes, we should take advantage of all the resources that we have. But the sun is a resource.
It's never going to go away.
Well,
or at least not in my lifetime.
well, if it goes away, we go away. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that being said, though, is there room in the argument, or has there been room to where I shouldn't say argument in the conversation? Is there room in the conversation for that growth to continue organically? And I bring up that word specifically because I think we're all look. I have solar panels on my roof. Our water heater is run on solar. Okay, that's it. Just the water heater.
Sure.
It knocks down our electric bill by a little bit every month. There's 2 panels up there. Boom, boom. They're not an eyesore. They've been running beautifully for 13 years now.
Nice.
So we got to be getting close to end of life, but
not really. Not unless that you start taking hail and it destroys them that way.
Well,
I mean, they're going to become less efficient over time.
Right.
But it's not that they're not going to stop working.
Right. No. Yeah, totally. And when a hurricane rolls through, and our power's out for a couple weeks, we've got hot water the whole time.
There you go.
You know, because you don't have hot water at night because there's no sun at night. No, but the water gets hot in a pretty insulated water heater, so it stays hot. So it made sense at the time for us to get them, but we got them based solely off of the tax credits.
Mm-hmm.
We basically got them for free with close to a 75% tax credit and then like a rebate on the back end. We basically got them for free. So growing organically is going to be the important thing, because to prop up an entire industry, for the government to prop up an entire industry, is the government picking winners and losers. And I'm not a big fan of that.
I agree. But also when you're trying to get an industry started, if you have some incentives like we did, and so the energy that's generated from solar, that whole industry is taking off and is becoming more and more popular.
Yeah.
The panels are becoming, more affordable, and as are the batteries. And the batteries, if you get a battery bank at your house and you get that wired into your house, yes, you've got to have some converters and all that kind of stuff too. But you can start generating power into your house, into your business, and have it offset what Entergy or Demco is providing to your house. And now your power, your monthly bill from the utility company is going down dramatically. Yes, it's an upfront investment one time to buy those panels and those batteries. If you want to go, you don't even have to go the full battery bank. If you want to just push your power that you're generating back into the grid, that's fine too.
Well, yes, all that's great, but I'm still of the belief that it shouldn't be the government propping up that industry. It should grow and evolve and get more efficient and get more better usage based off of consumer demand. The consumer should be the one directing how fast this thing moves and where it heads.
If you're wanting the industry to grow, and it's like giving the tax incentives to these big, plants when they come into town. You're giving just an incentive to get things started.
But those provide jobs and a tax base for the community.
And giving me a discount to go buy these panels, that creates jobs too.
There's not to scale. We just lost 170 jobs in Ascension Parish.
Dumb.
I know, but it's the one guy who installs solar. That's not, because the product isn't made locally. It's not manufactured locally. It just, you're talking about one salesperson and one tech to fix it. Let's push pause on that right now, because we got a lot more to cover. I don't want to make it all about solar. Let me, however, remind you about the folks at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website. FlyBTR.com. If you have not yet booked your travel plans for this summer, FlyBTR.com is here for you. If you wanted to make a quick getaway up to our nation's capital, Wouldn't recommend it for this. Well, you know what? I would recommend it for this weekend because, America 250. But throughout the summer, there's direct flight, or every day there's a direct flight into Reagan National, comes back home in the evening. If you're booking for business, you don't even have to stay overnight. If you are booking overnight, well, you're more than welcome to do that too. And it's not too soon. It's right about the right time, actually, to start planning for LSU football season. As the Tigers take to the road, Baton Rouge Metro Airport is here for you as well. The folks at Delta have built out a direct flight to go to Lexington, and Knoxville was the other one. If you want to learn more, visit flybtr.com. That's flybtr.com. All right, we got a quick break. Coming back on the other side with more of a Cup of Tech Gumbo next. Oh, Nelly.
I was reading an article, I don't know, last week or so, how there, and I'm not an electrical engineer. I don't pretend to know all this stuff, but we use AC. A lot of other places around the world use DC current, and it was good to go to AC when we did, but we should move to DC now. And it's more efficient usage of power using DC instead of AC. And but it would be a tremendous overhaul to change our grid, change everything we do to DC current instead of AC current.
I don't know if the overhaul would be. It might be worth it when you start talking about building out small nuclear as the data centers come on board. Have the new ones built out because they can go into the transmission lines directly. The DC can go because that goes as opposed to it flowing back and forth.
Right.
It's just going to flow one way. Would they have to rebuild the whole grid?
I think it's more about the appliances, the way they receive the electricity.
Yeah.
But the DC is a more efficient way of delivering the electricity. I think that's what I remember reading. But it's interesting, because there's so much talk about electricity nowadays, and not just because of all the data centers. Everything is electric. I mean, our stupid things on our wrist now have to be charged, and the smartphones and everything. I mean, how many outlets do you have in your house that have, power strips plugged in so you can have everything plugged in? The power strips plugged into power strips.
Probably 80% of our outlets.
Yeah. And there's not a house within listening distance that doesn't have power strips plugged into power strips, which is, a fire hazard, but everybody does it because you need all those, when these houses were built.
Take a whole lot of power to charge up your phone. So it's only a fire hazard if you're running your entertainment center, washer and dryer, and a DJ equipment off of one power strip.
You're when you've got one outlet on a wall or maybe two outlets in a room, and you need 400 things plugged in.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. It depends on what it is. My entire DJ setup runs off of one outlet. Plug in once, and then it's not a drain. Where do you want to go next?
Let's see. What did we talk about yesterday? We can talk about the Saronic boat built in Franklin, the one that rescued those pilots in the Strait of Hormuz.
Okay.
We can talk about Microsoft Teams with their tracking. Kind of annoying. It's going to basically tell you if you're, if you're on the corporate Wi-Fi network, then you're in the office. If you're remote, it's going to say you're remote now. So if somebody's working from home or not in the corporate office. Oh,
congrats, Microsoft. You invented Life 360.
Yeah. Dumb. Meta's creating their own prediction app to compete with Kalshi and Polymarket, but they're not going to use real money.
It's 6:51 at Talk 107. Oh, what?
He forgot the ad on your money now. Just go to Brian.
Okay.
Just go to Brian.
6:51 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We got Haggai Davison for a cup of tech gumbo continuing right here. I want to put a button on the solar discussion, Haggai, because I'm the type I want to have the solar discussion on a level of economics, as an economic topic, but it's physically impossible. And I can guarantee you every listener out there has pivoted to a political topic.
Yep.
Has pivoted to global warming topic. I want to run it out there because it's an important reminder from an economic standpoint. If you want to see an industry grow, it should grow by demand.
Yep.
And so we were able to touch on that. But every other part of that conversation is going to be about the increased amounts of carbon dioxide in the air, and then it turns into a whole global warming thing, and then it's easy to get away from the topic. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Can we talk drone boats?
Sure.
Scrolling back up. Sorry, there's a lot in the prep this week.
Yeah, we covered a lot of topics.
You
this
did
weekend.
cover a lot of topics this weekend. Come on. Saronics unmanned Corsair plucked 2 aviators from the Strait of Hormuz. The Saronics Corsair, where's that from?
Saronics the corporate headquarters are in Texas, but they're building the boats in Franklin, Louisiana, just 20 minutes away from where I grew up.
Yep.
Or 20 miles from where I grew up in Hanny's hometown.
Yeah.
These boats they're building them here in Louisiana, building them also in Texas, and pilots get shot down over the Strait of Hormuz, and instead of sending more, sailors on a boat into harm's way, they send this drone boat that goes, screaming across the water, pulls right up to where the pilots are, because they have their beacons on that are, emitting signals that only the U.S. military can receive.
Mm-hmm.
Boat pulls up, the guys climb on the boat and then take them back to safety. Technology built right here in good old Louisiana.
So I've seen the boat. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Back at the beginning of the legislative session, Susan Bourgeois' department over there at LED, they put on an open house at their new digs,
Mm-hmm.
and the folks from Saronic were there. So they had a scalable model of a couple of the different boats that they build. It is really, it's remarkable to see, and everything about their processes is amazing. Everything about their investment in Louisiana is amazing.
Oh,
the headquarters is still in Texas. We might want to work on that. But overall, Saronic is a name that we need to start knowing here in Louisiana.
It's a cool thing.
What's the bigger one? I know they've got a bigger one than the Corsair, because the Corsair I want to say is 24 foot.
24 feet.
Yeah. There's a bigger one they're building that just it's
like 35 feet, some 35 feet.
There's a badass amongst there. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I don't mean to completely nerd out on it, but I became fanboy very, very quickly when looking at those models.
That was a cool story.
Yeah. So right here in Louisiana, once again, military boats, Louisiana.
We do a lot. We make a lot of things here in Louisiana, and we have a lot of technology, homegrown that people don't know is going on down here on the bayou.
Yeah, and I'm just what I love about that is, we know the U.S. doesn't win World War II without the Higgins boat.
Absolutely.
So shout out Lake Pontchartrain, right?
You got a lot of the boats built for the Navy down in Houma, in the shipyards there, in New Orleans shipyards. We build a lot of boats here.
Yeah, it's just, again, the resources we have.
Absolutely.
So very cool stuff. Hey, I don't know if this is a Haggai topic or a Franz topic for Legally Served, but the Supreme Court says the Fourth Amendment protects your phone's location history. Tell me about that.
So this happened from a police investigation. They went, it was in Virginia, I think, but they went to Google and said, okay, give us every phone that was hitting cell sites in this geographic area. And then they narrowed it down and they finally got all the way down to the one suspect that they were looking for. And it went to court that the lawyers were saying the person who was accused had a right to assume their privacy, that you should not be able to track all of the data as to where that phone traveled without getting some kind of a warrant. And there were other people who were in a certain area and wound up getting accused of things rightfully and wrongfully, that because of that search. And so this whole court case was about, wait a minute, you should have some level of privacy as to where you're traveling, that the government should not just be able to walk in and say, okay, give me AT&T, give me all the data for everybody who was in this geographic area with their phones.
I feel like that's a flimsy piece of evidence, though, as far as the detective work is concerned. I mean, that would just mean, hey, whenever you're going to commit a crime, don't bring your cell phone.
But if you're just happen to be in the neighborhood,
no,
and you're driving across town where a crime was happened a block away,
right?
You're now in the area. You're a potential suspect.
That's what I'm saying. Is if you are going to commit a crime, do not bring your cell phone, and someone else is going to garner the attention because they have theirs on them.
Or bring a burner phone.
Well, there's that too.
But yeah, so the Supreme Court said, wait a minute, you can't just automatically go and get all of that data. You should have some level of data privacy with where you're traveling with your phones.
So unreasonable search and seizure is what it's now.
Yes.
Okay, I can see that. I don't know that. Is it though? It from a detective, from a police work standpoint, it's a very flimsy thing to base any of your case off of.
It's eliminating suspects or look. We know this person is somebody we think is doing it. Their cell phone data says they were there. They were on the spot, because you can track within 10 square feet of where that phone was from the triangulation of cell phone data.
Right, but it's also a false alibi.
Exactly. So there's a lot of pros and cons to this. It just, what this court case was saying is that, okay, if you're going to, you need to first get a warrant to go and ask for this information, instead of just calling up AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile or anybody and say, give me this data immediately. I need to know why you want that data.
We've got 1 minute to go. Do we have time to talk about the baby bust?
Sure.
Or do you want to pause on that until next week?
Oh, this was we talked about this story because it was a really bad story. It was clickbait, and what they were going back to 2007 through 2011.
That short a time?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was all the 2000s.
No, it was a 4-year period that
right.
Smartphones were causing the baby bust.
Yeah, because people were addicted to their phones and not getting it on. And I didn't realize the time period was that short. Total clickbait.
Nobody couldn't do anything with your phone back then.
Full serving of Tech Gumbo Saturdays and Sundays right here on Talk 107.3 FM, and of course anywhere you get your podcasts on demand. He's Haggai Davis. Always appreciate the time, sir.
Have a happy 4th.
You do the same. We got news coming your way in just a little bit. Hour 2 is up next on Talk 107.3 FM.
Yeah, this article was...
Okay, I misread the article. I thought it was all of the 2000s. We were seeing a steady decline. What the hell could you do with your phone from 07 to 11? Play that little snake game? Minesweeper?
You didn't even get the Facebook app until like 2010, 2011.
Right.
And Instagram wasn't invented yet.
Right.
Certainly not TikTok
Or YouTube, or
You couldn't even do a whole lot of video. Wasn't very good on phones back then. So they're talking about, people could go get porn on their phones, and no, you couldn't. It was a Haggai being the academia idiot. He was blasting. He's like, I've had peer reviewed, published, and if I'm looking at this, I'm shredding this as in a peer review. And so that's what we were just making fun of, a really clickbait article that a lot of people picked up on. CNN.
Well, the headline grabbed me. I only read the parts you had highlighted in yellow.
That's what it was, because it was a clickbait article is what we were talking about.
Or I should say, I only read that first paragraph that was in yellow. Yeah. Oh, holy hell.
Oh, that story right there. You saw that shit?
What happened?
People, a couple climbed up on top of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
Eiffel
those-
Tower.
Empire
State
State Building.
Empire
I
in
thought
New
that might have
York.
been one of your trending stories today when I
Yeah,
saw
I
It
thought-
should have been.
That was complete, and it was North Dakota, not North Carolina, by the way.
Yeah, I caught that too. I was
What
like,
was North Dakota?
You
You said
said
North
North Carolina for the Teddy Roosevelt thing. The Badlands is in North.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you did. I didn't
Oh, man.
correct you though. Yeah,
I didn't even
just-
realize. I was thinking North Dakota. I'm reading it right here. I was thinking about bad.
I was like, wait, there's no Badlands in North Carolina.
Right?
I can't believe I
No,
said that.
but like,
I know.
didn't they propose to each other on top of the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, that was so stupid
Empire State Building. Jesus Christ.
to be that far,
I know.
1,450 feet in the air, and you're
Yes.
just grabbing attention. Of course, all the memes now, everybody's changing everything that's on the flag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so everybody like
That's-
on the flag. What was it? It was
That's
like,
what I love the internet. People are already,
What was the one I saw yesterday? Oh,
The
it was the
Sadvocate.
LSU fan page where they said LSU owns SEC Nation, and you just see the flag. People are just stupid.
I saw one this morning. Atlanta still has never been to the Super Bowl or never won the Super Bowl or something like that. I mean, with the Saints, fleur-de-lis all over it. I mean, just all kind of stupid shit
Right?
like that. Yeah.
Is Haggai coming down for the fourth, or he's
No.
staying up north?
No, they're staying in New York City.
It must be
He-
absolute mayhem right now
But
with
he-
all the fireworks and
he-
Taylor Swift.
He and Monica just went to Alaska. They spent a week up in Anchorage for a
That's his
vacation.
wife. Okay,
Fiance.
fiance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next April will be wife, but for now they're.
My twin brothers get married in April.
Really, it's a good month to get married. My best friend got married in April.
I got married April 21st.
That's true. You just had the anniversary. Yeah.
36 years.
How many years?
36.
Congratulations. That is no easy feat.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of hard work and a lot of love and hard work. Yeah.
considering my wife hadn't killed me yet, yeah, it's
Yeah,
a lot.
right.
It's a lot harder
You're
than
like,
her.
I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Brian, you just made 25.
25 this September.
That's what I thought.
September 22nd will be 25. God willing.
We're making 10 this year. So
Nice.
yeah, we're still, I didn't do it good, not really, but I looked at him last night. I said, we've made 10 years this year. He goes, I know. And I said, I haven't killed you yet.
Get that on a regular basis.
Right?
All right, everybody.
Bye, Haggai. Have a good fourth.
Yeah, enjoy the 250th.
Don't blow
Yep.
off your fingers.
Where there's normally 8,000 bursts of the big fireworks, this year will be 800,000.
Yeah.
Per Anna Johnson. She said that on the show the other day.
That reel is going to go up tomorrow. Watch it when it goes up. I'm going to put it up on top tomorrow. Since we're all off, I have to go. Bye, Haggai.
Ooh. Ooh. 7:05. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane. Rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Wilton Landry producing. We got Bree Lynn monitoring. We are broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. It's the time for your IT to hit a 180. Visit 180pros.com. And, of course, we're starting off the 7 o'clock hour at 74 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Coming up this hour, big announcement from Liz Murrill's office. We'll have that announcement in Top Stories and Trending, and we'll have the AG on and with us at 7:15. Also this hour, Crimestoppers coming your way at 7:35. See if we can't catch some bad guys. Right now, though, we start you off with Top Stories and Trending. Starting us off on the other side of the river, as it were. West Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office is warning residents of a scammer impersonating a deputy and demanding payments to avoid arrest. It started back on Monday. Sheriff's Office said that a scammer claiming to be Sergeant Young with the West Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office has called at least one resident, saying that they missed jury duty, have an outstanding warrant, and must make an immediate payment to avoid being arrested. Sheriff's Office said that its deputies will never call individuals demanding money, so no going in that that's a scam. 3 men were arrested following a 2-day undercover online investigation into child exploitation in West Feliciana Parish. According to state police, 37-year-old Jacob May, 54-year-old Sean Hodges, and 30-year-old Christopher Hansen. Yes, child exploitation case, and one of the suspects is named Christopher Hansen. Yesterday, Attorney General Liz Murrill announced the arrests of 21 people on Medicaid fraud or cruelty to those in need. Murrill said the arrests were made by the AG office's Medicaid Fraud Control Unit, which she added has been elevated to a standalone division within the Louisiana Department of Justice. Attorney General Murrill's coming on 8 minutes from right now, so we're going to talk to her at length about this. Metro Council member Cleve Dunn missed a court hearing yesterday due to a clerical error that left him without an official notice that he had to attend. Dunn was indicted and arrested back in January on 2 counts of bribery and money laundering, along with public contract fraud, illegal split commission of commodities, and malfeasance in office. He's now going to go to court in the second week of July. The 5th Congressional District race has its newest candidate. State Representative Gabe Ferment has threw his hat in the ring yesterday, going to run for the seat. Ferment, who lives in Pollock, which is in Grant Parish, has built a solidly conservative voting record during his 6 years in the State House. Good friend of the show, Gabe Ferment. So looking to get him on early next week to talk about what made him pull the trigger this time around. All right, Wilton, what you got?
All right. As part of, well, that's not necessarily as part of the American 250 festivities, but definitely an awesome thing for this weekend. The Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library will be open to the public in the Badlands in Medora, North Dakota.
So while Teddy Roosevelt isn't originally from North Dakota and he didn't work, his professional career is predominantly New York as well. He credits the Badlands for a lot of his formation as a man, because he is an absolutely fascinating man. If I'm ranking presidents, it's like Teddy Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan, boom, boom. That's my top 2. History might, prove to change some rankings along the way, but those are my top 2 to be sure. So the question that you had last hour that was a really good one was, if his isn't in New York, somebody's going to be in New York. Yes, in Hyde Park. The other Roosevelt,
right?
FDR, FDR's library is in New York. And my other question was, you just always assume that every president's library is opened, a decade or so after they're done with their presidency.
Right?
Why didn't Teddy Roosevelt have a library? I don't know the answer to that question yet. But it's if you know the answer, I'm sure there's some kind of presidential trivia that somebody knows about. Why are we just now opening up a Teddy Roosevelt library? We also a week ago opened the Barack Obama Presidential Center, did we not?
Yeah, that was, I think.
Which, by the way, what a confusing looking building that is. I'm not trying to take shots at it. I know, but like architecturally and whatnot, I'm sure it's a masterpiece. I just don't understand it enough to be able to appreciate it. So claiming ignorance on that front, but like you can't have Obama open, Teddy Roosevelt still not. That just timeline wise, it screws me up.
Yeah. A couple more quick ones for you. Baton Rouge community and Southern baseball remembers Roger Cador. Those remembrances are just been continuing all for the past few days, and it's been pretty emotionally overwhelming.
Yeah, if you listen to Live at Lunch yesterday, Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott did a fantastic job of recounting the character that he was, that Cador was. Not just an ambassador for the game, but the best friend that Baton Rouge could ever have. Pretty amazing stuff. Brain cancer is what got him. Oh, by the way. But it's just what's amazing is everything he did with zero resources. I told a story last hour about how I ran into him in a grocery store. He was buying hamburgers to go grill himself for the concession stand at a Southern University baseball game. And that was it was like a couple days after the first time I met him as an adult. I'd met him once as when I was still in high school. I was playing ball over there. We had a tournament out that way. So just really good stuff. He will be missed. He will be sorely, sorely missed. One of the best to ever do it.
I'm going to try to do this last one really quick. In Florida, a woman was arrested for trying to smuggle cocaine into a prison.
Uh-huh.
It was.
Where was it, Wilton? Where was the cocaine?
It was keistered.
It was keistered. That should be a verb.
Yeah.
Did you properly keister your cocaine?
In her butthole. In her bum.
This is why we take the mic away from Bree Lynn.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about.
She
this
had it
on
up a
air.
bum.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
4 grams worth of cocaine. Can you imagine? That's a lot of trust in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
That's if you thought freebasing was something.
Tell her why, Wilton. What was she trying to do?
She was
the story when confronted was that she said it was left there from a sexual encounter, which it gets worse and worse.
I don't.
guess, as
yeah.
we talk about it.
That doesn't make it better,
That
lady.
doesn't make it better.
It's if you're the prison guard. There's so many questions that get left unanswered here. By the way, the photo of this woman could not be more Florida woman.
Oh no.
Oh, Bree Lynn's on her way over.
Oh, yeah, she looks rough.
Yeah.
I figured she would probably look rough.
Very, very Florida woman for sure. By the way, kids, make sure that you know, maybe put it in your shoe. Maybe don't smuggle cocaine into a prison at all. But definitely not where Florida woman put it for sure. We're at 713 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Hey, before we take our next break, let me remind you about the folks over at Mathern's stocking up for 4th of July, y'all. Mathern's has got you covered. New deals drop every single Wednesday on the Mathern's Rewards app. And this week is no different. This week, as you bring up the Mathern's Rewards app, of course, you're throwing some hot dogs on the grill with everything else. Well, how about you make the hot dogs free? Get yourself an 8-pack of Bar S Franks for free. Bar S Franks hot dogs for free with a $10 minimum purchase over at Mathern's. Not going to be hard to stack up that purchase because so many other items are marked down as well. So before you fire up the grill, Johnsonville brats, they're 50 cents off as well. And before you fire up the grill, swing by Mathern's, specifically the Mathern's at Kenilworth. If you're going burgers and dogs, that's cool. But if you want to get a little more creative, they have a whole specialty meats section over there at the Mathern's at Kenilworth. Of course, if you're shopping downtown or in the Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center on campus, they've got you covered on both those fronts as well. It is Mathern's. All right.
Oh, with the Florida woman? Yeah. Come on, Wilton.
You, by the way, you have carte blanche to change one of those stories if there's something more pressing, something that's bigger, something that I missed, or
like that
yeah.
Eiffel Tower.
It was the Empire State Building.
I said that all day yesterday too. Oh, go to the comments.
Hey, kill my mic.
Not available. Answering machine.
We'll try again. Try again in 60 seconds.
I swear I saved my stuff in the folder. I know I saved it in, and I can't find it. So put Ronald in the folder.
716. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane. Rolling right along. Hour 2 rolling right along as well. We're hoping to connect with Attorney General Liz Murrill here in just a quick second. Big announcement coming down from the Attorney General's office yesterday. I want to talk about it from every angle possible, because this is not just a big announcement about Medicaid fraud or Medicare fraud, but a big announcement about a pivot in priorities that I think, or giving the right priorities to the right department, to be sure. So got her on right now. Attorney General Liz Murrill's with us. Good morning. How are you? Nope. Give me just a second, Attorney General Murrill. We'll get the board squared away.
Okay.
There she is. All right. Attorney General Liz Murrill on the hotline with us. First of all, thank you for carving out a little time as we approach this this holiday. I know it's a getaway day for a lot of folks today, so I appreciate you hopping on the phone with us.
Yep, happy to be on. And just as we approach the 4th, I want to remind everybody to be careful over the weekend and don't drink and drive or operate heavy machinery or boats or four-wheelers or anything like that under the influence.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. If we can get through another holiday without those headlines, it's a good thing to get through the holiday with little headlines. So that is definitely an area we want to see some attention paid. Speaking of areas where attention is paid, Medicaid Fraud Control Unit. Before we get to yesterday's announcement, I want to talk about this unit in particular, how it was born, how it has evolved, and where it's headed, because I feel like you're giving attention to this that I don't know, was it not needed before? Is the problem growing, or is it just the level of attention growing?
I think both, but I would say that, this unit started with, some time ago with federal funding. I mean, it's part of the Medicaid program. Pretty much every attorney general in the country has a Medicaid fraud and abuse unit that is at least, I think we're 75% funded with federal funds. So, we can build that program larger and get $1 more than the Department of Health gets for Medicaid than just to do fraud and abuse investigations. So I've made it a priority. I know that, Governor Landry, when he was Attorney General, also had prioritized growing that unit and had made some presentations at the time that Governor Edwards just refused to support. So I'm grateful that I've got somebody in the governor's office now who was Attorney General, understands the importance of growing that unit to meet the size of our Medicaid spend.
Well, yeah, and it obviously helps having someone who was in your seat before to be able to look back and say, this is an area where I would like to see some movement. But since taking over, we've seen 95 arrests, 105 convictions just from this unit.
That's right. And, we've got a great unit. One of the things I did when I came in was do a separate evaluation and outside investigation. I brought in a contractor who had worked with the Federal Office of Inspector General at the Department of Health, or at HHS,
Mm-hmm.
So I had them evaluate our unit, and happy to say that it got really high marks about being a really good, solid operation. And so all I've had to do is support them, and I do work with them, and we evaluate kind of how to handle the different cases that come up, because they can involve varying levels of fraud. Sometimes it might be $100, $1,000, or like yesterday, we had one that was $400,000.
Yeah, that number stood out.
And we've had them over $1 million. So.
Yeah, that the $400,000 number definitely stood out in yesterday's announcement. To go along with the 105 convictions, the press release yesterday said $73 million in ordered restitution. Talk to me a little bit about getting that restitution, actually collecting. How difficult of a process is that, and where does the money go once it's recollected?
So the money goes most of it goes back to the Medicaid program.
Mm-hmm.
There's fines and fees that are collected in association with the restitutions, and those can remain and be used to help fund my unit. And there's a statutory dedication where that money would go, and it would then go toward our match. And if I've got, more money available for match, then we can grow the program. I can hire more people and more investigators. And I have, Matt Stafford, who's now the director of that unit, he's doing a plan for me that would be a 3 to 5 year growth plan, because based on our Medicaid spend, we would easily be able to have a unit that's funded at about $40 million total, complete with state match and federal match. I think right now we're at 14. So, we could support substantial growth in that unit to be able to keep up with our spending of $23 billion in the Medicaid program.
Unreal. I mean, the numbers just get very staggering very quickly. Attorney General Liz Murrill is our guest. All right, so let's talk about yesterday's announcement and the investigation that went into it. 21 people arrested from literally everywhere in Louisiana. Talk to me about what goes into an investigation of this size and scale.
A lot of times it starts with a tip. That tip can come from the community. It can also come from the Department of Health. Sometimes we do our own data analytics, and that piece of it, I've been working more closely with Bruce Greenstein, the Secretary of the Department, and Angel Davis, our newly appointed Inspector General, to build more into the data analytics side. So we're going to invest in deeper and more advanced data analytics using some AI tools. But typically we just run a tip and we start investigating how that person is billing the program and evaluating whether or not they have the billing is supported by the actual services that we can verify are being provided.
And then from there, I mean, how egregious does the fraud have to be to really catch y'all's eye? I mean, I'm not like saying that y'all are missing anything. I'm just saying, what makes something pop?
I'd say that if you have a situation where we discover that there are large billing anomalies, significant, but I mean, we will recover money if you overbilled $100, we're going to go recover the $100. But I can tell you that the ones that are more attention grabbing are the ones where it's 10,000 and 50,000 and 100,000, and it goes up, because these are people that are not making a mistake and accidentally submitting a bill for a time period that they didn't do something or just didn't match up and they need to correct it. It's not a mistake. These are repeated fraudulent billing into the program.
The money is an important.
So we're going to look for a lot of repeated instances, because we have to prove criminal intent to defraud the program.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And it's the piecing those parts together is the hard part of that equation. And while the money is important, and I'm not trying to overlook that, I'm not, because it means big dollars for the state's budget, a drain of big dollars fraudulently from the state's budget. While the money is important, people are more important. So talk to me a little bit about how this investigation was able to find those who weren't just committing Medicaid fraud, but we had a stack of cruelty to the infirm charges within this investigation as well.
Yeah, that's a kind of the part that is just heartbreaking. I mean, there was one case in there that you might have seen that involved a disabled child. I think the child had Down syndrome and needed 24/7 attention. And, we found the child left alone in a car, sitting on a bag of garbage. I mean, these cases can be really heartbreaking to see how sometimes people treat other human beings. And, the Medicaid program provides support to make sure that those people are getting the care and the attention that they need. And then you see that somebody is not only defrauding the program, but they are abusing or neglecting somebody, whether it's someone that's elderly in a nursing home or it's a child. It is just equally heartbreaking. And I think that that's part of what drives the passion of the people that work in our program, is that they're not only preventing fraud and protecting the program, but they are protecting people.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's the one side where it's disgusting to see both those charges on there because of how people are treating other people. But it's also like, there's a certain level of comfort in knowing that thank God it's not everybody, We've got Attorney General Liz Murrill on with us for a couple more minutes. Attorney General Murrill, I want to completely pivot to talk about yesterday's other press release, if that's okay. Tell me about the athlete agent registration portal. I have a feeling that this this is going to grow in size, scope, and importance like exponentially real soon, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole issue is growing. It's just so fast. It's crazy, and it is difficult to keep up with. This was one step in the direction of making sure that we can kind of keep up with the insanity surrounding NIL. But there was a task force that was set up last year, and we participated in that task force and collected a lot of the recommendations from it. That evolved into a piece of legislation that was passed this year to amplify some of the requirements of agent registration and education. There's also athlete education component that's built into it, which we will be working on with the High School Athletic Association and our college program. So we do think this is a significant step in the right direction. And the portal went live yesterday, and very, very excited about it. I'm super impressed with the work that was done by a couple of people in my office, Jolie Lyles and Olivia Ness, to put this whole thing together and to roll it out from the time I think that the legislation passed to now, which was just a couple of months. And so that's really been a great effort. And if you look at the portal, I think you'll be very impressed.
So yeah, early on, yes, absolutely. And it does follow, I believe it was SB 39 was the bill that Attorney General Murrill was talking about. But just from a 10,000 foot view, is this built out to protect Louisiana grown athletes as they move into college, or athletes from other states that are moving into Louisiana colleges?
It's both. I mean, obviously those our homegrown athletes are the ones that are going to have a longer, probably deeper footprint in our state, and they're younger, right? I mean, the high school athletes that are seeing outreach on NIL deals are vulnerable to a lot of exploitation. The younger they are, the less sophisticated they are, I think, with regard to how they can be manipulated by people who might want to take money from them or have them sign a contract that has unfair terms in it. Mm-hmm. So we want to see them get some financial education. We want to make sure that we are trying to protect those student athletes. And that's why we're making the agents register. Last year, there was legislation that required registration for athlete agents, but it exempted lawyers. And so this year we've corrected that. I mean, there's no reason why someone who's holding themselves out as an agent, just because they also happen to be a lawyer, should be exempt from a registration requirement. And so even parents, if they are representing the agent as an agent in an official agent capacity, they will also have to register. If they're just acting as a parent and advising their child, then they wouldn't have to register that way. But if they are going to represent officially as an agent, then they're going to have to register.
Yeah, and sadly, when there's an opportunity for money, there's an opportunity for exploitation as well. I feel like this is getting one good foot out in front before it's being a lot more proactive, to be sure. Attorney General Liz Murrill, thank you so much.
Right, and that's just,
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, protects people from being exploited by unscrupulous actors, and the good ones have nothing to worry about.
Yep, exactly. She's Attorney General Liz Murrill. We appreciate a couple minutes this morning. Enjoy the 4th.
Yep. Have a happy 250th anniversary birthday of America.
Absolutely. You do the same. We always appreciate Liz Murrill's time and really breaking down what is today and what is next, because that Medicaid fraud unit, just expect more from them, because it's out there. All right, 7:30 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Here comes news. Oh, Nelly. Yep.
Just a mess with them. I'm done. He's not like, oh, thank God. I was like, like a 7 producer for
You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. You're the 5th
yeah.
one. 5th one in 7 years.
In the last. I'm not going anywhere. You won't have to get me out of the building. Nah, it's just don't do it again. Yeah, nah, we're good. No, bottom of the hour never has that.
so this Crimestoppers bit coming up, Brian. Do I do a rejoin music first and then you toss to the Crimestoppers opener?
Yeah, the only one that's not like that is record.
Yeah.
Which I don't even, the mic's on, so we're not gonna talk about it. But do we know?
I asked yesterday. Trinity's going to get back with me today. Robin's off right now, so
Yeah, she's
Trinity will get back with me today.
No, we're good. Oh, holy hell. You like Wilton, bring a coat.
I was gonna bring some low in the summer just because it's at least being
Oh, I know, in the Tiger Studio, which I know how to drive in there, I just don't. That was freezing as hell all the time. Liberal let low.
DI let low.
John, what the hell?
What?
Some noise. It sounds like he's in a tunnel.
Oh, it sounds like a Keurig because Brian's making.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you want to do. Said, listen, I'm gonna work for you guys. Do the 16 for sure.
Okay.
I just went out to Denim and bought $400 worth of fireworks, but this guy on the radio said not to.
Not to do it.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just sit on that. Oh.
Man, it's been a minute since I've been here.
It has been.
Well, you were out.
But you were out.
Well, then, I mean,
We had eye care.
I need to come
When eye care's here, you used to.
I used to. I mean,
You used to.
I just had a lot going on, as you can understand.
That's 5 days a week till 7:30.
What's the schedule like? You would be nighttime?
11:30 p.m.
A producer position?
For the morning show.
Oh, yeah.
Where?
At Channel 9.
Channel
Why
9.
keep going in at 11? The producers and anchors normally come in at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, but when the
You make the show, you like set the show up all night.
right,
You write,
All
you
night?
write
the producers have to build out the other stuff.
When I was at KLF, why did producers that come in till 3?
Lafayette isn't real.
Hush, Brian.
Baton Rouge is barely real.
Well, in every market does things different. Brian has a point. Yeah. I was nightside
I'm
when I
just,
was at
I'm
10.
just applying for it. Last time I didn't apply for it, I got to an interview and they liked me, but they just want to see me.
I was gonna say, yeah, put me down. They knew I wanted to. Who interviewed you? Was it Trey?
Rob
No, Trey's not there
Hayes.
anymore.
Rob Hayes.
Trey was,
I know Rob.
Trey was at 2, wasn't
Trey was,
he?
yeah. But he's not-
Oh,
he's
oh
not-
no, he gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gone.
I could tell you all about that if the mics are off. 737 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Crimestoppers coming up in 60 seconds. Need to remind you about the folks over at ExxonMobil, because you need me to remind you about ExxonMobil. You need me to remind you about a company that's been doing it right in Baton Rouge for 115 years, more than 115 years, employing our neighbors, fueling the planet. ExxonMobil plans to take that experience in the future. Everything they've learned over the last 115 years, how do you move into the future of energy? Well, inevitably, it's going to involve carbon capture. Carbon capture and storage. Carbon capture and usage and storage. If you want to learn how they plan on attacking that the right way, the safe way, the most efficient way possible, they've built out a website for you to visit. It's aboutlaccs.com. Aboutlaccs.com. If you want to learn more about what ExxonMobil has got on the forefront, aboutlaccs.com. Time for Crimestoppers. Let's get it. What?
I just love our off-mic conversation.
You see, the problem here is last week was eye care, and the week before that I was out. So it's been half a month since Don Capola sat in that chair right there. So odds of us making it wire to wire without you busting up. What do you think?
You know, I'm glad to be here. I've missed y'all so much, and I just love our off mic conversation.
Well, they're off mic for a reason, Don.
Wow.
Oh, it's gonna be
Alrighty.
good. Well, you ever see those videos on like TikTok or Reels or whatever, where it's two people trying to make the other one laugh, and every time they make them laugh, they got to take a shot.
Well,
yeah, you and I would both have cirrhosis by the 750.
Where's the bottle?
That's right. It's already empty. It's over there. Noel Tequila shout out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Where do you want to start today?
Well, I feel like we already started.
Well, yeah, but for the audience who has no clue what's going on right now, where do you want to start today?
Oh goodness. Let's so 4th of July, Saturday, Independence Day.
Yeah.
Let's start there just to remind everyone that it's going to be a good time.
It is.
You know, the
250th anniversary of this country.
Yes,
it's awesome.
Yes. Baton Rouge on the levee, they're going to have the fireworks.
Downtown fireworks show. Whitney Hoffman Sayal coming up later on to talk about that. Yeah, it's going to be a party.
It's going to be great. But we want to remind people that fireworks in East Baton Rouge Parish are illegal.
Dang it! I just bought a whole bunch, man.
We talked about that as well. I just
went out to Denim and loaded up.
But
now I just got to sit on them. All right.
Just got to sit on them.
Man, so we had some neighbors up the street. I don't know how far up the street last night, Don. But Christy and I are laying in bed watching I Will Find You on Netflix. Banger of a show, by the way.
Okay.
And then sure enough, you hear pop, 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 pop. And after 5 of them, I'm like, oh, those gunshots. And then pop, 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 pop. I'm like, oh, thank God, there were fireworks. Oh, so good. So yes, while fireworks are illegal, if you are shooting them in East Baton Rouge Parish, please do so in a cadence that doesn't make you think it's gunshots.
Right. And with that being said, you have people that, oh, let's celebrate. I don't have fireworks, so I'm going to shoot a gun. Let's not do that. Okay. There's enough gunfire going on now, which needs to stop.
Well, of course.
But yeah, go out to the levee, downtown Baton Rouge. It's going to be a great event. It always is. And think ahead as far as it's going to be hot. Hydrate without alcoholic beverages. Okay?
No.
If you're going to drink alcohol, have a plan.
Absolutely.
Either stay downtown, have a ride shared service, but don't get behind the wheel.
Uber and Lyft are everywhere, dude. They're everywhere 24 hours a day.
There's no reason to get behind the wheel. 1 month
ago, I had a blowout on Goodwood on my way into work. So we're talking 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I opened up my Lyft app. I had a Lyft at the because I didn't have a spare in my old car, right?
Okay.
So or else I would have knocked it out and gotten in here. But no spare, blowout on Goodwood. and there was a Lyft picking me up 6 minutes later. A wait of only 6 minutes at 4:30 in the morning. So don't tell me you can't find a sober ride home.
Those guys are rocking and rolling.
I know.
Rocking and rolling.
Oh. Who shoots a gun in the air for 4th of July? Ammo's not cheap.
No, it's not, but you will be surprised. 4th of July, New Year's, it's, hey, let's, and again.
What are you, El Guapo?
You know, it's, yeah, wow.
Three Amigos reference. You didn't see that one coming, did you?
No, I didn't.
All right.
Where's the bottle?
Viva El Guapo! Pop, 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 pop.
Let's move over to the Capital Region Crimestoppers Facebook page.
Sure.
Madison Allen, a missing out of Zachary since November 2023. Still missing. There's no information on her whereabouts. Check out the Capital Region Crimestoppers Facebook page. If there's any information on her location, and you know, Brian, we talked the longer time goes on, you know, you think the worst, and it's only natural to. You hope that's not the case, but regardless, you know, this family needs some type of closure, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Either, you know, hey, my loved one is doing well, they're wherever they are, or at the very worst, whichever way it may be, if you have any information on the whereabouts or information regarding Madison Allen, pick up the phone, 344-7867, P3 Tips app. Just contact Crimestoppers.
Missing since November of 2023. So I mean, we're approaching 3 years here. Madison Allen, 32 years old.
Yes.
Which I guess if there's any benefit there, if you visit the Crimestoppers Facebook page, you're going to look at 32 basically the same way you looked at 29. This isn't like, you know, if you're talking about, you know, a child, they're going to grow and look a lot different. So
right.
within that time frame, right.
And, you know, she has some tattoos that outside of removal, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
You know, the hair color may change, but as you mentioned, the features are still going to be the same. And, you know, we believe somebody out there has some information.
So, and by the way, there's pictures of the tattoos on the Crimestoppers page.
Absolutely.
So if you recognize that here we go. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to.
Go ahead.
If you recognize that wrist tattoo, call 344-STOP. If you recognize her back tattoo, you probably should have called already.
Wow. Okay.
What else we got?
East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office is looking for an individual burglary.
Bree Lynn, you're not helping. She's like, I'm not trying to.
Occurred on June 19th, early morning hours in the 6700 block of Segan Lane. Mm-hmm. This individual has a tattoo visible on his left arm. The photographs are pretty good photographs, so someone out there should recognize this individual. Contact Crimestoppers with that information.
This one is that second picture what I think it is? Is that what's he, is he reaching over a person?
No, it looks like he's reaching over like a desk or table.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it now. I see it. All right. Sorry. It looked like it was, see how it kind of looks like a head right there, but that's not a head.
Not really.
Anyway,
okay.
It's a much better picture of the suspect than it is everything else in the picture, to be sure. I find these scenarios unbelievably frightening.
They are frightening, and let's think about this, Brian. Today's world, there's video, there's surveillance cameras everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to go and commit a crime, you know, as this individual allegedly has, just know that the odds of you being captured on the surveillance are pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have some more fugitives to talk about regarding some identity thefts, some thefts, going into cash checking places
mm-hmm.
with fraudulent information.
Yeah.
It's only you're walking into a video, Okay.
Right.
You're going to be seen. You're going to be talked about on Crimestoppers.
Well, but the part that I find frightening is when they get away with one, they get more bold for the next one. Eventually, that leads to them making mistakes that get them caught.
But it's
But
just a
the more
matter of
vigilant we can
time.
all be on the front end, and I'm not, the more vigilant we can all be on the front end, the better it's going to be for all of us, because on the back end, the quicker we can get them out, the less opportunity they have to get bold.
Right. Or how about just not do it at all?
Well, there's that.
And do the right thing and earn an honest living.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry and look over your shoulder every day wondering if, there's Crimestoppers.
Now,
there's the police.
The suspect stole items from edible arrangements while in the store. We're not going to start a risk versus reward discussion. Who else do we have?
So Cameron Augustus, 25 years old, is wanted by the Baton Rouge Police Department on the charge of theft. This is an incident we just referred to regarding the check cashing business.
Yeah.
Investigators believe that Augustus goes into a cash checking business with some checks stolen from another family member, negotiated those checks. It was learned that these checks were stolen. And so Cameron Augustus is wanted on the charge of theft.
We see those. We don't see those very, very often, but we see them often enough. Like, what's the batting average on something like that? Because I would imagine in 2026, if you're running a check cashing place, it's probably worth it to have somebody there in law enforcement, like hire a detail, because we see those frequently enough to where, I mean,
we do.
You don't want them getting out more money.
When the check is initially, the transaction is made, they don't learn until later that either the funds were closed or whatnot.
Okay. So the person's already off the premises. Okay.
They're off the premises. It's not like it's an immediate.
Yeah. I get
but
you
again,
now.
You know what you're doing. You're walking into a business that has video surveillance, so it's just a matter of time before it catches up to you.
Absolutely. We got 30 seconds left.
So check out the Capital Region Crimestoppers Facebook page. Give us a call with any information you have. Check out the website. Know you're anonymous. We don't want your information. We just want the information you have to solve these crimes, to identify these individuals, and everyone have a safe and great Independence Day.
He's Don Capola with Crimestoppers. We always appreciate the time, sir.
Thank you, Brian.
Here's your money now. I'm sorry.
No,
you can't show me a picture of a back tattoo.
Hit the mic.
So he got the tomahawk tattoo, a tomahawk tattoo, and then because they were still the Indians back then, because he's now part of that football team, so everybody got it. Year later, he transferred to Arkansas Monticello.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, but like anybody who's military, I 100% like. I don't just envy the tattoo; I envy the relationships. Yeah. To have that kind of that close of a bond. Yeah. That I respect the shit out of. Absolutely all day long. But like I got a dragon on my neck because I thought it looked cool. Yeah. I'm the same way. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not telling that.
If you ever look, I don't want you to wheel your chair out. If that makes sense, and then you get caught.
If that was too much, let me know.
No, it wasn't. Buddy, it's all about the.
Are people going to remember the second? That's to me. That's yeah.
Hey, buddy, I don't know. I mean, have you heard the sports on the
Oh no, we can look great back and forth. That's it's not a tune-up.
Because I've heard people like, oh, I've heard you, and what a great segment.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that you're hearing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously after 8 years, I mean,
yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. Yeah, I got to figure out how to make eye care a little bit better. I mean, it's not bad because it's once a month.
But it's not. But they. And listen,
it's worth it for the overall relationship. For y'all's mission.
100%.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to give up 10 minutes a month to help promote y'all's mission while you're in school. That's worth it.
I would like to get Biz in LA back.
Yeah.
We were. Are we still on?
Yeah.
No, DeLarue. Oh. Turn it off, Wilton.
Shut up.
Happy 4th.
755 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Always appreciate Don Coppola for stopping by for Crimestoppers. 344 stop is that phone number once again, 344 stop. And if you have not yet downloaded the P3 Tips app, download it, let it sit there. It'll be there when you need it, and it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You heard about this in Top Stories and Trending at the beginning of the hour. State Representative Gabe Ferment from Pollock in Grant Parish has now thrown his hat in the ring for the 5th congressional district seat. He's joining, at the very least, Mike Eccles and Misty Cordell in the race, which this is the seat that is being vacated by Julia Letlow, who is now the Republican nominee for Senate at this point. Ferment says, look at his record. Voters can trust him. Cut 13, please.
They just want somebody they can trust, somebody who's going to be there when they need help. And I've done that in the state legislature and certainly intend to do that when I get to Congress.
So Republican State Senator Stuart Cathy is he's expected to join the race as well, which kind of changes the face of how that 5th congressional district is looking this time around, making it a lot more a Monroe-based district the way it used to be, because when we had the previous round that got, the election got called off because the maps got redone. When we had that, it was a lot more Baton Rouge based, and or Blake Miguez was in there as well, and he's from Southwest Louisiana. Now you don't have to live in the district to run in a particular race, but this is the way it's looking or starting to shape out now, because both Eccles and Cordell are Monroe, Kathy's Monroe, and Stuart Kathy, I should say, is Monroe, and now you've got Grant Parish in the mix as well. Furman has been in the House since 2019. He describes himself as, and is, I could say the numbers back him up here. He's a true conservative. And this is, being from Grant Parish, you're in a good position to represent a rural district. Now, that being said, he's a little bit behind right now because his opponents were running in that first round before the election got pulled. So they've got a head start. Furman believes that he has an advantage as the southernmost candidate in that race.
I do think there's an opportunity there for me to consolidate support in Central Louisiana. Look, I am not going to ignore any part of this district.
Well, and that's the tough part right there, is because it is still an insanely wide district, to be sure. It covers like 24 different parishes. It's huge. Goes from Monroe south to Avoyelles and Rapides, and then over into parts of southeast Louisiana as well. Now, while Furman is starting behind the 8-ball a little bit, he does have plenty of time to make up ground. We've got until November 3rd. That's when the party primary is going to be out there. Open ballot on this one. It's not going to be closed like the Senate race. Furman says voters will be able to hear from all candidates before that.
This is going to come down to who's got the strongest record and who's got the best story and the best ideas. And when it's all said and done, people are going to see that I stack up really well there.
It's also going to come down to a lot of the longevity here, because when Mike Eccles and Misty Cordell, they've got that head start. We're going to see who else actually gets in this, but the 5th congressional district is already looking like they're going to be a good company, because I mean, I wouldn't want to pick between Eccles and Furman, to be sure. So plenty of time for that to play out. We will, of course, follow it along the way. And like I said, during top stories, going to reach out to Representative Furman to get him on here early next week to talk about running. Hour 3 is coming up next.
your opinion of the world today or something like that?
Are things more contentious now?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Now a check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Capital One. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X Business Card. Make purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. Capital One Venture X Business Card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This report comes to you from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. Looking for a real estate closing partner in Baton Rouge that offers mobile closing services? Mid-City Title, midcitytitle.com. Talk 107.3 Weather.
We are transitioning into a very typical summertime pattern that means heat, humidity, and some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. For your Thursday, the high temperature is getting up into the middle 90s, and as we move into the afternoon and evening, that's when storms are
Ooh.
area. Now, not everyone's going to be wet, as these should be pretty scattered in nature. Into the overnight hours, any remaining storms should begin to fizzle out. The skies will be mostly clear with lows in the middle 70s. I'm meteorologist Baylor Rogers with your storm station forecast, WBRZ.
We're not done yet. More news, more newsmakers, and more of it.
What the hell? Oh. No. It's the guy that did the Red Bean videos for 4 years. I'll tell you later. 805 Talk 107.3 FM at WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Wilton Landry producing. Breland overseeing operations this morning. We are starting off your 8 o'clock hour at 77 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Getting ready to this hour break down the legislative session from a contractor's perspective. What does ABC Pelican have to say about the recent legislative session? Carson DeLarue is going to join us at 8:15. Also, we're getting you ready for downtown fireworks and maybe get a little report card on downtown as Whitney Hoffman Sayal slated to join us at 8:35. Right now, though, before we get you to anything else, we check in on this day in history. All right, Wilton, what do you say?
Got some historical events here for you today. As the United States get ready to celebrate our Independence Day, right, going on today is the Brazilian Independence Day, Bahia Independence Day.
Really?
The Portuguese loyalists out of the Bahia province on this day in 1823.
So did you know that today is supposed to be our Independence Day? Saturday, we will celebrate Independence Day because that's when the Declaration of Independence was signed. But they couldn't sign the Declaration of Independence until after the legislative matter or the matter that they were discussing and debating actually passed between the 13 colonies.
Okay.
That vote happened today.
Okay, so I saw something that the Continental Congress declared that these states should be one united nation of United States, but I wasn't familiar enough with the nuance. I'm glad you brought that up.
So yeah, the vote happened today, and I was listening to Fox News Rundown.
Okay.
In the 4 o'clock hour this morning, And whoever did the opinion piece at the end of it spelled out the whole thing. It's a fantastic story. It's called the Lee Act. And this actually, we would have declared independence sooner, but one of the key voters from, I believe, Delaware was homesick. And the deciding vote was it Delaware that they were from? Was 80 miles away from Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Was 80 miles away from, where the Declaration was signed, and had to ride on into town, like battling whatever ailments they had, ride on in on horseback, and because they couldn't send an Uber, and be the deciding vote on the whole thing within the Continental Congress. It's an amazing story. But it was either Thomas Jefferson or John Adams. One of the two of them said that July 2nd will be celebrated with parades every year, but it turns out he was just off by 2 days.
I love little details like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Also on this day in history, 1839, La Amistad slave revolt.
Oh, that's right.
Off the coast of Cuba. There's a
Yep.
movie about it. If you're not familiar, go check it out.
Yep.
1865 in London, the Salvation Army was started. It wasn't called the Salvation Army right then. It was called the London Christian Mission, but it's the organization that is today known as the Salvation Army.
I wonder how they got to pivot to the word army, though. Like how they
I'm
have
not sure about that.
we have the Cajun Navy and the Scottish soccer fans, or the Tartan Army. Like, at what point did they say, "Look at this army"?
Maybe it's when they went like international. Whenever it just wasn't about like just London.
I bet
anymore.
you're right.
But let's see. Back to America in 1964, Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act into law on this day in history.
Yes, that is correct.
We got the first television broadcasting station launched. That's the Jenkins Television Corporation. That's in 1928 in America.
Wait, what?
1928. Yeah.
The Jenkins Television Corporation
goes on air with WEXK.
Okay, I didn't even know about this.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic stuff.
Let me see. Something to be proud about in America. 1989, American jockey Steve Cawthon wins the Irish Derby on the horse Old Vic to become the first rider in history to win the world's 4 major derbies: the Kentucky Derby, Epsom, French, and Irish Derby.
Wow, crazy. Okay.
Yeah. USA. Couple of famous birthdays.
Hang on. I got more to come. More to come on the
I'm
events.
jumping the
More to
gun.
come on the events. This day in 1962, the first Walmart opened up. This
I did
day
not
in
know that.
1937, Amelia Earhart's plane disappeared.
Oh no.
And this day in 1991, Boys in the Hood was released. Yeah, and on this day in 1980, the movie Airplane was released.
Big day for airplanes.
Yeah.
All right, you had some cool ones there.
All right, what you got on birthdays?
Thurgood Marshall, the first African American Supreme Court justice,
That is correct.
was born today.
Mhm.
Also, Rene Lacoste, French tennis player and the founder of Lacoste clothing brand with a little crocodile on there.
I'm glad you knew who that was because I skipped right past that person.
Larry David, comedian and actor, born today. And then this is one for the girls. We had 3 very famous actresses born today. Ashley Tisdale, known for like the High School Musical movies and stuff. Lindsay
Sharpay.
Lohan. Yeah, Sharpay on there. We got Lindsay Lohan
Oh, my word.
from Freaky Friday and Margot Robbie of Wolf of Wall Street.
Marco Robbie. Why is that one for the girls? I mean, yes.
Yeah. It's just
Wolf
like
of Wall Street.
big celebrity actress birthday today. That's what
Yeah. Larry David's 79. He old.
Still kicking.
Yeah.
He got a new show coming out.
Does he?
Mhm.
Is it going to be exactly like the last show?
No, it's like a history. It's like something where he's like going through different like what's it called? Vignettes of history.
Okay.
Yeah. Some notable deaths on this day in history. Unless you had any more birthdays to go to.
No, roll with it.
Nostradamus, French philosopher and famous for his predictions. But we got some other cool ones from America. Ernest Hemingway. This is the anniversary of his death. Mario Puzo, who wrote The Godfather.
I was about to say, if you got Hemingway on there, you better have the good writer in there too.
Have you read? Oh, I love Hemingway's writing. Have you read The Godfather?
Everything. I've read everything that Mario Puzo has written.
I love his
Yeah,
writing.
he is my absolute favorite.
Also notable today,
Yeah.
Elie Wiesel. If you ever read. Eli was I said it totally
It's
wrong.
is it Weasel or
I thought
Wasel?
it was Wasel.
It's Eli's the right pronunciation.
They can't hear me. I was always told it's Eli Weasel, but I love his writing as well.
Yeah, he wrote what was it called? Night.
Gosh, yes,
Yeah.
the World War II or something.
Yeah.
I loved it. I had to read it in school and do a whole project on it. It was
Mhm.
pretty cool.
Yeah, he wrote a lot during World War II. I want to say Night was the big one that he
Started
had.
it.
Also, Jimmy Stewart died on this day. And James Stewart died on this day in 1997. Lee Iacocca died on this day in 2019.
National Day.
All right, you ready for the national?
Yeah,
Day?
go for it.
The only one I saw today was the National Wildland Firefighter Day.
Huh?
Wildland firefighters.
Okay, well, we can roll with that for sure. It is 8:13 to Talk 107.3 FM. Before we take our next break, do want to remind you about the folks over at Guarantee Health. If you run a medical office in any form or fashion, talking about primary care, talking about an urgent care, talk about a full-on hospital. If you run a medical office, you need to pay attention to this one, okay? Guarantee Health Solutions, guaranteehealth.com. Guarantee Health Solutions was an idea that was born out of a poor customer service experience, bad bedside manner. And from there, Rachel Fricke, the founder of it, was going through some stuff with a relative and just could not have walked away feeling more cold, feeling more transactional, and decided there's got to be a better way. So she has built out a 4-pillar system that actually takes the bedside manner and spins it all the way into better business. Get to the front of your office and back of your office talking, getting everything from the patient end just to run smoothly, run together. And from there, you utilize those relationships to build more relationships. We've got, if you want to learn more, you can visit guaranteehealth.com, guaranteehealth.com. All right, quick break, come back. We're talking with ABC Pelican about the recent legislative session next.
Do I have to make a phone call for that?
All right.
I'm listening to Newt's answer. He's absolutely freaking ruthless. I love it.
Oh.
Like, he's like, the left to actually go out and earn a responsibility and a living. I'm like, girl.
Oh,
I know, I love him.
Brian, do I need to call this guy?
He's here. He's
Oh,
here.
excuse me. Carson.
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well.
You here?
Thank you, sir.
I need 15 seconds on the front end to make a correction because we overlooked one.
Oh, so I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Bree.
Bree.
And this is
Delaware.
Wilton.
Wilton. Yeah, sorry. Delaware. Good to meet y'all.
Good to meet you. Let me know that this is live. I'm just bringing it down.
Okay, I'm good.
Eight 17 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We missed one on the this day in history part of this, and this is going to sound obscure, but roll with me here, okay? It was on this day in 1977 that Rocky, the song "Gonna Fly Now" from the Rocky soundtrack, went to #1 on the charts. Now, why do we care about that? Because the guy who wrote that song, the guy who wrote the whole Rocky album, Bill Conti, he's an LSU grad. So yeah. So shout out to shout out to the user submission, we'll call that right there, on that little tidbit from this day in history. All right. It was a busy legislative session on so many different fronts, and we've been trying to unpack as many of those fronts as possible, and we're nowhere near done. How was the session for contractors, for builders and contractors? Well, let's reach out to ABC Pelican. We've got Carson DeLarue in with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, Brian. Thanks for having me.
No, glad to have you on here. I'm remembered way back to just before the session got started, swinging over by y'all's HQ over there, sitting down in the boardroom and listening in on what y'all were going to be paying attention to. So before we get into individual items, let's get the overall, the 10,000 foot view. How was the session for y'all?
Yeah, so for ABC, I mean, the session was generally good. ABC more or less takes a defensive position in Louisiana. We're protecting the merit shop construction industry. And so, look, as far as all the bad bills that were coming after contractors, we were successful in making sure that we could eliminate those. But we still got a lot of work to do as far as more of the general business issues and capital investment issues that impact construction as well.
Well, so let's dive into a few of them. Specifically, I mean, yes, there is a defensive front. I totally get that end of it. But playing defense to play defense has got to be a harder sell on the floor, doesn't it?
It's certainly not easy.
Right. So what were a few of our winners?
So look, I mean, the big one, I guess, from a more proactive stance that I'd like to talk about is House Bill 953 by Rep. Brian Fontenot. I know that we discussed that a little bit at the bill review you came to.
Yeah.
So this was huge for us. This is something that we've been working towards for decades. Rep. Fontenot filed this bill, and it took various forms throughout the session. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what passed and what the governor signed eliminates the state plumbing board, which is unique in Louisiana's construction industry, in that the state licensing board for contractors licenses all construction trades except for plumbing. Plumbing has their own special board, or I guess had now.
Okay.
And they put on severe restrictions to become a plumber. So we've been able to eliminate that board, transfer the licensing authority over to the licensing board for contractors. And then reduce some of these, barriers to entry into the plumbing trade to hopefully get some more folks into the trade, get them working, give them more opportunities.
I mean, this would kind of fall in line with a lot of other just looking to reduce regulation in a number of fronts. Louisiana has been overregulated for so long. We have, hair braiders have to be licensed in this state. Well, that one actually might have changed, but this is one where it's kind of that in between area, though, right? I mean, you don't want to have a bad plumber. Right.
Certainly.
But so you want to make sure they're on the up and up, but at the same time, though, did they need their own, their own special club?
Right.
And that's where ABC came down.
Right. So, I mean, philosophically, we have this position that, if you have a trade board, it's specific to one trade, the members of that board are licensed by that board. There's an inherent, incentive to maintain barriers for entry. I don't know that that's necessarily their intention all the time, but that's certainly, you leave open that possibility. And historically, it has operated that way. I think they've made a lot of strides recently to kind of make better efforts there, and they've reduced some of the barriers, but still it wasn't sufficient, and it was time to let that go.
So yeah, and there are already consumer protections on the back end if you run afoul of problems.
Right.
So it feels like, why do you need the one on the front side when you're already protected on the back side? And oh, by the way, do we have a whole lot of rogue plumbers out there? I do some DIY stuff around the house, but I'm not looking to build out an entire subdivision either.
Right.
So is this an area where there is room for? Every time we can correct overregulation, I'm here for it. But has there been an active problem, or was this a solution in search of a problem?
No, I mean, look, it really is a problem. We only have a few thousand plumbers in the state. It's certainly a need. We need more folks. But also, I mean, to your point about the rogue plumber, if you talk to plumbers and you talk to folks who are currently at the plumbing board, one issue that they do have is enforcement, ensuring that the folks who are working, doing plumbing work are licensed plumbers.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of guys out there who aren't, they're doing work they're not supposed to do. And the plumbing board didn't really have the capability to enforce the law. They didn't have the investigatory power that the license board for contractors has. So I think on that front, you'll see some.
So you had a board that obviously had to get paid, but at the same time had no teeth.
Yes.
Like that's okay. In my world, by my definition, that's what we call a shakedown.
Yes.
I mean, that's, I hate to oversimplify it like that. What else was going on?
So look, on the defensive front, we always have public works bills are always an issue.
Oh, yeah.
You have public entities who want to increase the contract limit, which, means that the public entities could no bid award contracts or self-perform higher value construction work, which, it guts competition. And then also if the public entity if they're self-performing, frequently they're not set up to do that properly.
Okay.
And they have to bring on employees, and it ultimately increase the cost for them. It's not factored in the same way as if a private contractor came in to do the work. Excuse me.
Okay.
We also had, there was one bill that was going to require contractors to put their license number on all written communications, which, look, for my guys, we're doing work in every state in America. Put their license number on all written communications.
What does that serve?
That's a good question.
Okay.
That's a good question. I think mostly there's always an issue with, there's complaints against residential contractors frequently, where, I don't know, it was something related with insurance claims. I didn't really get the gist of what they're trying to do on the residential side, but it applied to my commercial and industrial folks. And for us, it would make us go, if we're licensed all over the country,
right,
then, okay, if you got 20,000 employees spread out, to each of them then have to have your Louisiana license number on there. If they're doing work here and they're doing work in Pennsylvania, if they're doing work in Indiana, it just didn't make sense for us.
Well, I mean, you've got, when you start doing work, you've already entered into contracts there. I don't see the purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm on the right side on that. I thought I was being thrown for a loop, but I get it.
No, I think that one was a solution searching for a problem.
Yeah. It's kind of reminiscent of a few years ago when they were looking to kind of tighten up advertising for lawyers.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, all they did was say, you have to put your bar number on the end of it.
Yeah.
It affected absolutely nothing, except took 3 seconds away from every 30-second commercial.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but other than that, it has done absolutely nothing to move the needle in either direction. That's looking for extended bureaucracy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, at the core of everything you're going to talk about is the consumer here, the person who's going to move into the building that's built. Whether you're talking about protecting them on the front of having the best building they can, or on the front of making sure cost is not exorbitant. Added bureaucracy always adds to cost.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look, we're merit shop contractors. We believe that, the contractor who gets the job should get it based solely on merit. It's the best guy for the job who can do it at the best price. That's the best for the market. It's the best for the consumer. It's good for everybody.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And you want this as market driven as is humanly possible. Any more that we're looking for? Because I know that that's a good 27 or 28 page folder that was sent out afterwards.
Look, one of the big ones for us too is actually it was a Senate bill that was aiming to modernize aspects of the licensing board for contractors.
Okay.
And, generally it was a good bill. The licensing board brought it to try to just update some of what they do. We've put a lot of new responsibilities over on the board over the last couple of years.
Okay.
Transitioned the commercial code council over there, and then didn't give the licensing board any more money. So one of the aspects of this bill was allowing the board to collect an administration fee on license renewals so that they can actually fund this, additional work we put on them.
Okay.
But there was an amendment that came onto the bill later in session that was going to require contractors or contractors or owners acting as the GC on mega projects valued over $500 million to provide the state with a copy of their private contract and a detailed listing of all of their subs and sub opportunities. And so we had a little bit of a heart attack about that because we didn't want to, obviously it's a private contract.
Right.
It's really
for a mega project, you're talking about a private contract for a public job?
No. These are I mean, it could be turnaround work. It could be chemical plant expansion.
Okay.
It could be meta. It could be it's all this private work. Now some of it could have public.
Well, that's where I want to go with that. Yeah. So if there are public incentives attached to it, don't you kind of need that? I mean, because
so I guess taking a step back through one of the major concerns that we had with it was that you would then have the state coming in to add some political pressure in for subcontractor and vendor selection. So instead of it being a merit-based selection by the contractor, you'd have state influence.
Yeah, no. If you want them to, what's the old Bill Parcells? If you want them to cook the meal, you got to let them shop for the groceries.
Yeah.
This isn't Impossible Chef.
Right.
All right. I'm up to speed on this one. Awesome.
But look, I mean, to your point, like on the incentive and whether it's appropriate, that can be something that's handled through LED at the beginning of the process. So when they're making the negotiations with the project owner, they can have
these are the specs that go in the contract.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you want to play ball, if you want to sign the contract, it's built in on the contract. Then see, that to me is the right answer.
Yeah.
We got about a minute and a half left with Carson DeLarue from ABC Pelican talking about the legislative session that was. All right, within the last minute and a half, what got left on the table that y'all are already planning on swinging at next year?
Look, litigation is still a massive issue and has actually become a bigger issue. If you commercial auto is always the one that gets focused on. But last year there was a case against a contractor, a scaffolding contractor. One plaintiff won $411 million. It's the largest single plaintiff verdict in Louisiana history. This is Valdivia versus Brock Industrial Services. And that has created a massive problem for contractors on their general liability and umbrella policies, which is going to impact a lot of these mega projects. If you can't get an umbrella policy, your project's not getting done.
Unreal. $411 million.
$411 million.
All right, I've got to go look this case up because what could have possibly happened?
Well, look, this guy.
Were they putting scaffolding on the moon?
So, a piece of scaffolding hit this plaintiff in the head. He was severely injured. I mean, it's a really terrible, awful case.
Okay.
He's not going to work again, but this is, look, these are general damages.
Right.
Exceeding
over and above medical.
Exactly. So his medicals, I think, were somewhere around $80 million.
Yeah.
Which, look, if the guy's hurt, if it's your fault,
but I mean, he's never going to work again. What is he, Aaron Judge?
Yeah.
Not to disparage. Oh, we're just straight up out of time. We got to get you back on soon. Really good stuff. Carson DeLarue with ABC Pelican. Appreciate the time. Here's news. Yes.
I mean, there's lots of good spaces, but I would say, there's things going on at Tsunami because Shaw Center gets you like up, but anywhere on the levee or around.
.836 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. One Bath and Closets, onebathandclosets.com is the website to get a hold of David Duvall and his 30 years of experience. Get a hold of David Duvall and his team of experts when it comes to reimagining what your bathroom could be, when it comes to reorganizing what your closet space could be. Are you making the most out of both of those spaces in your home? If not, visit onebathandclosets.com, or even if you think you already are, scroll through some of the pictures they've got over there. Kind of walk down that exploratory process. Give David a call at 400-8005 and just collab with him. So this is a space we got. This is what we want. What do you see happening here? That's what Christy and I did with our master bath, and sworn by the results, y'all. It's the change in our bathroom. Our house was built in 64. So we had a 1964 bathroom rolling into 2026. That wasn't working. We've now got 2 vanities instead of the one. We changed out to a walk-in shower, which I don't know why anyone would ever not want the walk-in shower. And then the lighting is completely different as well. So we worked with David. He worked with us. When you got a 1964 bathroom in 2025, it was not the easiest of challenges to map that out. And he sure did. Just absolute mastery every end of the process. onebathandclosets.com. All right, today is July 2nd, which means coming up in 2 days, we will have our nation's 250th birthday. It means the celebration on the river, and that means we call on Whitney Hoffman Sayal from the Downtown Development District to talk about that and a few other things. How are you? Welcome back.
I'm doing great.
Glad to have you back in today.
Same.
I know I say it every time. It's not often enough because y'all got a lot going on.
We do.
4th of July, we got to cover, but
there's never a dull moment.
No, I know.
But I love it.
So we have the Baton Rouge Area Foundation on once a month. We'll be talking a lot about Plan Baton Rouge Phase 3. From your seat, from your office, how much of that is going to start getting real fast?
I mean, a lot of it, right? And while we were doing the plan, our work never stopped, right? So we've always been focused on trying to amplify what's going on the riverfront. So there's obviously big plans in Plan Baton Rouge 3 that we're anxious to get started on. But we broke ground and had construction started on some multiple use paths that connect from the levee trail to some of our apartments and residences up north. So that's on both sides of River Road. You'll see some construction with some new paths connected.
Gotta love that. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Excellent
I think
stuff.
it's gonna be huge for them, right? Like they used to have to drive a little bit to then get on the levee. Now they can just walk out of their front door and jump on it.
Love that. Absolutely love that. What else is on the forefront that's going to be near future wise to visible?
Well, we got started. We want to do more streetscape improvements. 3rd Street, you'll see soon some little parklets. We're going to do a pilot parklet on one of the blocks. So some more outdoor seating and get people to activate the street. We did just finish, and this was kind of part of what we discussed in Plan Baton Rouge 3, but we did a partnership with Baton Rouge Green and planted over 100 trees in our tree wells. So we really leveraged our resources to make that happen. So we're excited about that. We've got probably 40 projects kind of on the books, but we're anxious to then, now that the plan has been approved, sit down with our partners and figure out how we can leverage our resources.
One of the things when you're in Baton Rouge, it's very, very easy to get, I don't want to say cynical, but you see the same things in the same parts of town over and over again. When you get out of Baton Rouge and you're able to see other places, it kind of changes perspective a little bit. We had a basketball tournament for my daughter's AAU team. In Jackson, Mississippi, and we stayed in downtown Jackson. Have you ever been to downtown Jackson?
I have.
Why? It's awful.
I think I love every downtown.
No,
a little bit, but
only if you sell plywood from Lowe's. Like everything's boarded up. They had like one decent historic hotel.
No,
like I will crap on Jackson, Mississippi all day long.
I'm an eternal optimist, though. I have hope for them. I think the same is true for other places. We have visitors that come into downtown Baton Rouge and they're like, "This place is so great."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Oh my God, thank you."
But that's my point, though. Is we stay here, we take it for granted.
Correct, and I think that it's the saying, "The grass is always greener." Right. But you really do have to look around you and see what you've got and try to amplify those attributes.
No, absolutely. But yeah, after coming out of Jackson, Mississippi, which, by the way, I think it's like northwest of the city itself, they've got fantastic suburbs. But like it looks like they have turned their back on downtown.
Yeah, and when that happens, I mean, look at some of the economic things that troubles they've gone through lately, right? Because downtown really is an economic engine. It is where the visitors come to see. It's where our culture and our history is like most on display, and we really have to make sure to take care of them. That's part of the reason I love my job.
We valeted at the hotel we were at, and the guy just drove it like half a block up the street and left it in the left-hand turn lane. And I'm like, is it okay there? He's like, yeah, nobody uses this road. And I'm like, we're downtown. We got Whitney Hoffman sailing with us. I don't want too much time to pass before we get to the main event here coming up on 4th of July. What are we looking at?
So there's things going on from 2 to 9, right? It starts off with the Marine Corps band. Who doesn't love the Marine Corps band?
They're awesome.
Correct. And then you've got other acts that are following, like Rock and Doopsy. So some good Zydeco, Amanda Shaw, and then we got Wayne Toops. I think everybody in Louisiana loves Wayne Toops too.
Yep.
And then John Snyder at 8 p.m. And then obviously culminating with WBRZ's fireworks on the riverfront.
Okay, so the fireworks on the riverfront is always just a spectacular show from start to finish. I will say that in the Haldane house, we have a little tradition of if we're not downtown all day long, we're grilling up at the house or whatever, but we'll throw the pajamas on the kids and drive downtown just for the fireworks. And there's not a bad spot. Like this happened by accident one time. We got stuck in traffic on the way downtown. And we ended up having to watch the fireworks from the car, and turned out it was awesome.
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't matter where you are. Unless you have a building physically blocking you, it's a spectacular show.
Oh, 100%, because it's up high, right? So if you get on the west side of I-110, you're going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
The closer, obviously, the better. Some spectacular spots on Tsunami. They've got an event going on there. You can get off the ground and see it better. But yeah, it's truly a show for everyone. That's relatively close.
So talk about that with Tsunami. Is that like, how do you get in?
Yeah, I think that they have they have a July Terrace Bash, and I think you do have to pay like a ticket or something. Yeah. So I would just say go to their social media or their website and learn more about that.
We got Whitney Hoffman sailing with us from the Downtown Development District. So how much are we able to utilize the 4th as a spinoff for just, hey, we've got you downtown? I mean,
I think that's most events, right? And I think it really speaks to how much downtown is for everyone. It's where we all kind of come together to celebrate 250th anniversary. That's huge, right? Yeah. I get goosebumps thinking about it. I do want to also mention, we have the Louisiana Purchase downtown. So,
I'm glad you brought that up.
So even if you're unable to make it for the actual fireworks and all these great shows and performances, it is at the Old State Capitol until July 11th. And when you look at it, it really just takes you back and realize, how far we've come as this nation.
And well, because we doubled in size when we added Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana used to be
kind
huge,
of a big deal.
Right?
Yeah, kind of a big deal. That's every time we end up talking with somebody about our representation in DC, like we have the Speaker of the House, we have Steve Scalise leading the party. The director of the U.S. Mint is from Louisiana right now.
I did not know that.
I'm watching I watched a podcast the other day with Senator John Kennedy on Theo Vaughn's podcast, and I'm like, that's a dude from Madisonville and a dude from Mandeville. Like
cool.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's like every time you turn around, we tend to say Louisiana's punching out of its weight class.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to develop the other opinion that maybe this is our weight class.
I agree. I think you should always look at it as we deserve what we have, and we deserve more, and we should always push for more.
So yeah, the Louisiana Purchase on display at the Old State Capitol until July 11th. So really, that's next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday.
Correct.
So
there's a little bit more afterwards. So, if you're out of town, come back in town and go check that out.
Yeah, but it's getting down to crunch time for sure. It's one of those ones where
it is.
It'll be here a while. I'll go whenever. But
Yeah,
we're down to our last week or so.
Put it on your calendar.
Yeah, we got Whitney Hoffman sailing with us from the Downtown Development District. Okay, over the years, as the fireworks show has grown and the whole more people downtown to view it and whatnot, I'm sure you've picked up on some hacks, if you will. What's your favorite part of the whole show, and how do you approach it yourself?
The whole show. I think my favorite part is seeing so many different people from Baton Rouge celebrating together, and I just kind of like take that in.
Yeah.
Obviously the fireworks are really great, but I think I am preferential to the Army Corps band too. Like they just they're the Marines, and they're dressed so beautifully, and they have such great stature and play so well. So I really enjoy that piece.
And they've got game.
They do.
They've underrated game.
They do. You almost get goosebumps listening to them. I don't know, and listening and looking at them.
Well, it's one of my favorite parts of Mardi Gras is when you get to see the military bands, the Marine Corps bands specifically.
I agree.
And not just that, but when they're done doing what they do, seeing them cut up. When they brought all the tall ships into New Orleans a month or so ago, got to see so much of that throughout the French Quarter. And it's when you bring everybody downtown like that, it always lends to a good time.
And that's early. So if you want to see
Marine
that,
Corps Band,
that's
2 p.m.
That's 2 p.m.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, by the way, Repentance Park is where.
Yeah, that's the general area that you should head towards.
Okay. So this isn't on the Roar Plaza stage.
There may be some pieces. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, but they're very close. So if you're in that area, you'll find it.
Yeah, if you're there, you'll hear it for sure. Just follow your ears from that point. Which also brings up the other question is, this is a Saturday, so it's going to be, you don't have to worry about impeding on a weekday. Not that anybody would be open on the 4th anyway. But as far as enjoying the restaurants and stuff downtown, it's business as usual for everybody, or do we need to look ahead?
I think it's a mix of both, right? You'll have some closures, but I think there's going to be some businesses opening to take advantage of that. There'll be some vendors around, that kind of thing. So, so we're if you come down, you should be able to be comfortable.
Okay. We've got about a minute left with Whitney Hoffman Sayal from the Downtown Development District. In that minute, and I know I'm asking you way too tight a time. What's the rest of the year looking like? What are y'all working on?
Oh, well, there's some things that we can't quite mention yet, but that I'm I can't, but I'm so excited about it. And I'm looking forward to coming back and telling you about it. I cannot wait for the USS Kid to come back. It's just, and then you think about the fact that we have this ship in Baton Rouge, like other cities don't have something like that, but we've been missing her for sure. As soon as the water goes up, we'll get her back, and we'll have a good celebration for that.
You know what? As a side reminder right there, when you go see the Louisiana Purchase at the Old State Capitol, stop by the Kids Museum. The museum is still open. The museum's still up and running, and honestly, would appreciate a visit.
100%. They have things outside of just the USS Kid, right?
Yeah.
And they need that support while they're waiting on her return.
Yeah, it's kind of it needs to be on us to make sure we're responsible on that front. She's Whitney Hoffman Sayal, already teeing up the next visit. Always appreciate the time.
Thank you, Brian.
Here's your money now. Thank you. Yes, that was awesome. Very, very good. Kill the mics, please.
know what to do. I just kind of want
Your biggest,
this like either the county could help or anything like that.
the biggest thing that is the most crucial is as soon as we go to break, you gotta take Brian out of program one. I noticed I keep taking you up.
I
Sometimes
feel like today I was better.
you are better at that. Because his phone will blow up. Pete callers will call you and say, Brian's on the air. Yeah, I'm very aware. Especially that grouchy old man, he'll call all the time.
$8:56 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. I love when Whitney comes to the studio. Because we have we have an awesome downtown with the potential to be even more awesome. And there's some things on the way that are going to make it that. I'm just thoroughly. She's like me though. She's you want to dream about what can be, and then move that dream to plan and move that plan to reality. That's. I love that positivity. It just she's great.
I love our downtown because you can have a date night. You can take the kids to do something. There's always something to do downtown.
Yeah. Although I will say this though, Plan Baton Rouge Phase 3 did not include a reinvented Fun Fair Park on the levee.
Oh, with Candy the smoking chimpanzee.
Mm-hmm.
All of it. All right, we got just a couple minutes before we get out of here. Bree Lynn, yesterday you and I were supposed to talk about
and I was getting there.
Amazing Netflix series. Well, we got sidetracked by Neurojust is what happened because we went to Neurojust this week and it was
and we fangirled and got to enjoy all
pretty
things
much.
Neurojust.
Yeah, I did the TMS therapy for a little bit and it was awesome. So we'll just say visit neurojust.com to learn more. If you're battling with anxiety or depression, visit neurojust.com. All right. I just finished this Netflix series that I absolutely loved. It was called my wife was the one that found it. She turned me onto it, and we watched the whole thing together. It was a mini series, so you're not committed for a whole bunch of episodes. But it was called I Will Find You, and it was based off of a novel. And I'm gonna forget the author's name of the novel.
Oh,
but
gosh.
like Harlan something.
Harlan Coben.
Harlan Coben. But it's on Netflix. And this show, Breland, it takes these twists and turns. You do have to suspend disbelief a little bit for some of it, but they're the most unexpected plot twists in literally every episode. And every episode is right around a half an hour. And it's jam-packed with action and intrigue. I know, I think it's like 8 episodes for the whole series. So all in, you could knock that out in 4 hours.
I'm glad you told me that because we have a particular colleague here and he works a lot on ESPN 1045. His name is Chris Marler.
Yes. Little 1045, but a lot of LouisianaSports.net.
Yes. And so he comes up to me and he's like, stop watching it. You're on episode 2. He's like, it's terrible. And then you're telling me it's wonderful.
Absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. I want to know at what point he bailed. And I want to learn that without, we don't want to give spoilers.
Yeah.
But because there are a couple of plot twists that are really difficult to suspend disbelief for. But it's like, stick with it because the next one's going to be great.
See, now I need to go watch it. The one I'm on right now, we were getting there yesterday, The Last Ship. So the guy, Eric Dane, who plays, Dr. Mark Sloan on ABC's Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
He's the lead guy in The Last Ship. And what's ironic about this, back in 2014, the show came out on TNT. And it's about a global pandemic that takes over the world.
Okay.
And their ship is the one to save the world. I can't kind of spoil it, but basically they go out for research purposes. Probably episode 2, they're hearing that back home, like the world's ending. So...
Well, I would go back to look for I Will Find You.
I have to go watch it now.
All right. We're all done, y'all. We're off tomorrow to celebrate the 4th of July holiday, so we'll see you on Monday. All right. I'm going to need the studio back at 10 for about 20 minutes. Are you? You're...
He's doing post show.
Yeah.
If you need help.
Yesterday or like a couple days ago, I finished
My Facebook.
Oh, we'll see y'all. Happy 4th.